Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 check 1 2 3 check. Hello, welcome. Hi, this is my hand. I am live. I am Michael DiNicola, your most illustrative host, here for your drawing pleasure or displeasure, depending on the day, and depending on how successful we are at our daily artistic endeavors. If you have any questions, feel free to chime in the chat. Feel free to let me know. Before we begin, let's do a little replay of what I was working on last stream, as well as take a moment to thank my patrons. Thank you, patrons. Thank you, Twitch subscribers. Thank you, YouTube members. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Discord friends. My beautiful and highly valued Discord friends. Thank you, cuties. I appreciate you. And yes, as always, I show you guys what I worked on last. And this is the pencil stage. And in this stage, the character did not look the way she would later, as you can see. It's one of these weird instances where the sketch doesn't look, it was the foundation for the drawing, but when it actually came time to ink, I kind of specifically in regards to her face, I really just did my own thing. I didn't even adhere to my own doodle. Bale says you're on early. I suppose I am, Bale. I suppose I am on early. You pervert, you dirty pervert. I'm on early, you animal, you motherfucker. Oh, dude, yeah, I told you. I watched the first episode of Cyberpunk, the anime, and I liked it. It was good. It was a good time. Okay. All right, yeah, so when last we left off stream, this is where I was on this piece. This is where I was, this is where I stopped. So, all right, hang on, I got my coffee. I went to Starbucks today. Well, I went through some crazy color palettes. There's one in particular that was really just wild. I went neon green. Yeah, I went fuchsia. Where is it? Damn. Kind of hard to pinpoint. Let me see if I can find it. I took a video of it. I took a video of it because it was so funny. Yeah, this. I went like fluorescent neon green. I was like, oh, look how freaky and cool that is. Good morning, Strike Boy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know what? I realized I think I'm going to change her ear color. You know, I think this is the first time I think this is the first time I've drawn a girl with like not fake cat ears but actual cat ears, or I don't even know what animal ears these are. Red panda ears. Somebody came into the chat yesterday and was like, "You drawing a furry?" Somebody came in the chat yesterday in the YouTube chat and was like, "This is furry art." Something along those lines. And then I thought, hang on, what constitutes furry art? Because when I think furry art, I think it's something very specific. You know, I feel like we've all seen it. If you've been on the internet long enough, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, furry art is a particular niche in the art world. pretty fucking specific. Thank you for also not giving her a pair of human ears. Well, that is what they do, right? I mean, that is a genre of it, right? So sometimes they have both sets of ears, I've found. Sometimes the character has both sets of ears. Sometimes it's just one or the other. And then there's ear position. Sometimes the ears are on the side, like I've drawn them. Other times ears are up top, like directly above the head. Other time the ears are where the human ears are. Both sets of ears is wrong and stupid.
Sir.
Yes, butt face.
Butt face.
Yeah,
Good
that's
morning.
right. It's too early, Nicole.
Dude, why are you on so early?
I gotta do something around like 12:30 my time, so I'm like, let me get 2.5 hours in, because I can't later. So let me get them in right meow.
Look at you. I'm proud of you. Instead of taking actually the day off, you're putting it in.
I fucking strongly considered just taking a nap instead. But I did not. I did not do this. I went to Starbucks. I got myself a Starbucks drink. I've been going there enough that the fucking Starbucks people know me now. And they're like...
That's good though, right?
They're like, bye, Michael. Have a nice day. And I really, for a second, wanted to throw the coffee I just picked up from them back at them over the counter.
Stop.
Don't use my fucking name in vain. You bitch. You stupid bitch.
Good morning.
Bale doesn't like it when you draw two sets of ears on a animal hybrid person.
Why?
Why? Because he's, I don't know, he's racist, I guess.
Oh, I have a meeting soon, so
No.
I just wanted to come in and say hello. Yeah, unfortunately I do.
What's it about?
My team, just like updated work and stuff like that. Thank you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's not bad. It'll last maybe about 20 minutes, if anything. It's pretty slow. If I can just like knock out a few of these orders, I can come and bother you again.
Sounds good to me, Pookie.
Pookie?
Sounds good to me.
Man. I did my workout today, Mikey. I'm dying. Yeah.
Was it all butt?
No, that was yesterday. Can you see my camera?
Oh, yeah.
Hi. I have a whole calendar. Look. Oops.
Her calendar is just a photo of Joe without a shirt on.
I prefer Joe with the shirt on. Black t-shirt, please. Thank you.
Yeah, he's dressed up. He's dressed up from the bottoms down as the Grinch that stole Christmas. I don't get it, you guys. She's still holding up the calendar, quote unquote.
Mike's getting a hard on.
Never. Hang on, let me bang my hard on up against the mic. Speaking of banging your hard on against the mic, hello, Brewmaster. Would you prefer it if they signed you off with "Thank you for your service," Michael? No. It was actually very nice, but it did take me by surprise because they didn't hand the coffee to me and say, "Here you go, Michael. Have a nice day, Michael." I picked up my coffee discreetly, as one is, wont to do. You know me, Mr. Discretion. So as I'm leaving, I get shouted at from across the, server fucking area. My name, and to have a nice day. No, it was fine. It was nice. It just took me by surprise is all. How are you on this fine Taco Tuesday? I guess it is Tuesday.
Where the fuck is my phone? Oh, there it is. I am not eating tacos today. I guess I could. Chicken.
Oh, dude, I'd fucking love a taco right now. A breakfast taco. Hey, Brewmaster.
I want avocado.
You know what, dude? I like avocado when it's guacamole. I don't like avocado when it's just being itself. When avocado as is, not a fan.
But what about like avocado toast?
No, not enough going on. Avocado tastes like nothing to me. Avocado just tastes like
lime, salt, and pepper. Oh,
right,
maybe
right. But that's what I'm talking about, right?
I see.
You have to add to it,
like naked avocado.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas like so many other things, you know, like imagine you're eating a strawberry and you're like, this strawberry is, it's like, well, you gotta add sugar and whipped cream. Then you're like, okay. Yeah. So yeah, listen, avocados, when they're part of the guacamole team, they are a sum that is greater than their parts, Nicole. But man, avocado on its own, eat my butthole. That's what I have to say about that.
No thanks.
Meow, 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 meow. You got to get that Gracie Jiu-Jitsu sandwich. What? It's avocado on peanut butter toast. Yuck. That sounds disgusting, dude.
Peanut butter?
Peanut butter avocado.
No, Mikey, you're not allowed to have a taco because you called Nikki a buttface. How dare you?
Hey, Brewmaster, how do you feel about cat ears on a woman? I mean, in a drawing. Bale doesn't like it when they have two sets of ears. Wait, so Bale, this is the first time I've ever drawn a woman with ears like this. Her animal ears, right? They replace her human ears. So what is by her human ears? What's down there? Is it just skin? Is it just smooth skin? Nikki, that's kind of gross when you think about it, right?
Is it like a bald spot?
I mean, do you think her hair? Because you know, listen, for us it's a bald spot, right? Our hair doesn't go by our ears. But do you think if we didn't have just skull and skin, that's disgusting.
Yuck. It would just be skin. It would either just be skin or we would have hair there. If we don't have a second ear.
No ear. I think there'd be a hairline there, Bale. You fucking retard. Think about that.
Okay.
Look, hey, go.
Just skull and skin.
Hey, pick your fucking dirty olive skin Slavic ass. Walk over the mirror. Look at the side of your skull in the mirror. You see your hairline? How it goes around? Because we're not chimpanzees. If it wasn't there, to Nikki's point, yeah, Nikki, call him a retard again. Yeah, give it to him.
Again, you did it. I did not say that.
Let him have it, Nikki.
No. You be nice.
No, no, you're right, dude. You're right. There would be a hairline there.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's how Nikki likes her cat girls.
One ear.
Yep, Nikki's holding up another calendar, quote unquote, of Joe, and he's wearing cat ears. But the cat ears are on the top. They're the cat ears. They're on the top of his shaft. It's a weird place for him.
They're like little baby ears.
Yeah. Hang on. She's turning the centerfold to this December. Now I thought the December part of the calendar would have Joe in a kind of Christmas theme getup, but surprisingly, the December Joe calendar, it looks like he's taking a shit in a kitty litter box. I don't know what this is about at all. This is jarring, friends. You're missing out on this. This is really something else.
Respond to that, you fucking weirdo.
That's what.
Like, how do you reply to that? No, I don't. That's not what it is. No, I'm just really surprised. Like in your mind, you're thinking about Joe taking a shit in a fucking kitty litter box. What?
Listen, I'm just looking at what you're showing me, dude.
Nothing.
How dare you put this on me?
Mike cannot be on this early.
Is Joe there? Did he hear you yelling?
Joe is here. Yeah, Joe is here because he's not working today because he leaves to the airport in 2 hours. He's fucking dying right now. Choking.
Would you prefer it if they had signed you off with "Thank you for your service"? Yeah, sure. Yeah, stolen valor. Yeah, you know why they would do that? Because I show up there to pick up my Starbucks in army fatigues every day. But not modern ones, old ones, like I fought in Nam. Even though I'm in my 30s and was born way after that war was long over. It's fine. I played a cat girl in Final Fantasy 14, obviously.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh. Nikki's so shitting.
Yeah, I forgot to move my computer mouse, so I went yellow.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Oh, man.
Oh man, Mikey
Oh,
Chan.
man. I didn't mean to scare you yesterday. Yesterday I sent Nikki a message, and I just wrote, Nikki. What did I say? Was it just Nikki?
All you said was Nikki, and I was like, Michael, and then fucking nothing.
And silence, dead air.
And I was like, no, I hate when people do that. And chat, for the record, he never replied to me.
Yeah, no, it was she had to track me down. And what it was is I just listen, I've got ADHD, man. Not that I don't I'm just assuming I'm just assuming I've got ADHD. I don't know for a fact.
Oh wait, we took that test though. You're like super close, right?
We took that close, and it's like it's a possibility.
Right,
it wasn't
right,
like
right.
See, I thought it was going to be a certainty. It's like, yo, get yourself some medication. But it wasn't that. It wasn't that. So far. But yeah, no. Nicole Gonzo face. Very, very sweet. Very sweet to track me down. After I messaged her. It's like, Nikki.
Well, like it could have been something like severely important, or you needed help with something, and I'm just like, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm still here. And then so I texted him and I was like, don't do that shit. And he literally replied back with question marks, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, that's the thing. I actually
head.
forgot I completely forgot I messaged her. I was like, what the hell is she
Hanging out
talking?
with the lady.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell is Nikki talking about? Nikki.
Mucker.
Speaking of needing help, why is Liz has been streaming for 7 days straight. Why why? I see she's doing a fundraiser. She needs $3,000 and she's got $2,500, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
But,
one of her dogs, they found a tumor on him, and to get everything tested, to do the vet, the tests, blood work, all of that crap, it adds up. And you know, the states are just jackasses when it comes to veterinarian bills. Like, they don't allow you to pay, you know, in payments. You have to fucking pay right then and there. She also has some medical bills of her own that were like, you know, needing to be paid, and she was really stressed out about it. And she was talking to me and a couple of other mods like, hey, like, what do you think about this? And I'm like, you have a great community, you know, if you need help, like, this is why the community's here, and I'm sure you'll do fine. So she won't stop streaming. I mean, she'll sleep, she'll take breaks, you know, she's got commands for all of that.
Yeah.
But once she hits her goal, whoops, sorry. Oh shit, yeah, I gotta go.
Okay.
But once she hits her goals, then she'll stop streaming. I'll be back, buddy. I'll try to
Later, buddy.
Yeah, before you head out.
Goodbye.
Lovely talking to you.
Goodbye,
Bye.
Nicole. Well, what are we doing? Oh yeah, that's right. We're drawing a cat girl. We're drawing a cat girl thing. Couple things I want to do here before I wrap this up, because this is about, listen, I'm not fully rendering this thing. This is about as rendered as I want to get. So, you know, we've got, as you know, a cell shading layer, anime style. We have a shell, we have a lighting layer, an overlay layer of the sunlight wherever it is behind her. One shadow layer, one light layer, one color layer, and one line drawing layer which is yeah, literally, yeah. Yeah, one shadow layer, one light layer, one color layer. Ha! Look how stupid this is. Hmm. You know, this actually isn't as bad as it normally looks when you remove the line art. Yes, and the line art. And then, so this is how it looked before I started tweaking it, which is fine. You know, it doesn't look, but I like a nice color tweak. Just to kind of soften, right? Those are really, those are high saturated. What in the holy hell time is this? Hello, Scooby Dooby. All right, let's see if I can't. Let's see if I'm gonna do a classic hack. Art hacks. And I am going to use gradient mapping. Oh, interesting. Oh. Ooh. And hello, Scoob Club. I saw a post from an artist the other day on a social media platform. And that art person was talking about how they're active in the ArtStation community. And they have of late seen they've seen artists on ArtStation. Or by the way, if you don't know what ArtStation is, definitely check out that website. That website is full of aspiring concept artists, working concept artists, freelancers, very, very, very high-end professionals. And ArtStation does kind of a curation. ArtStation does a curation of its feed. So you can kind of see, listen, if you're going into concept art or two-dimensional art or digital painting, you could see the working professionals. You can see the working professionals doing their thing, and it is something else, man. There are some fucking powerhouses on ArtStation. Anyway, ArtStation aside, and they've got everything, by the way: 2D art, 3D art, people who do rigging. Basically think of ArtStation as the place where the art department at a game studio would all go to drop their shit, right? So imagine if you will, the whole gang from your favorite Blizzard game or whatever your favorite, right, game, League of Legends, whatever it may be. ArtStation is the art game design's version of LinkedIn. You know, you're looking at, instead of looking at CVs, you're looking at online portfolios from some of the fucking top artists alive today, you know, who are working in this field. Anyway, on ArtStation, apparently people have been using Midjourney, and the other one that people are now using is the free one, the free version that isn't as good as Midjourney, but people have been using it. It's the fucking Singularity, I forget. But apparently people have been using that. People have been posting AI prompts as if it's their own stuff. ArtStation banned people using AI art, as of other sites. Yeah, but Yoji, all that means is that people just won't admit to it being AI. Unless there's some way to catch them without having them have to self-report. And then how do you prove that? Again, unless there's some unless there's some kind of code that you can remove from the image itself, you know, unless it's in like the metadata of the image. And ArtStation has developed some kind of code detector, but even then, I'm sure there'd be workarounds around that. The AI sites are using one artist's art for the basis for most of the art. Oh, you're saying, oh, I see, but from the algorithm learning various art styles, you're talking about how it's using a specific artist's work. They're also scraping medical images. ArtStation also allows copying frauds, so it's not all pros. ArtStation banned people using AI art. The AI started. There is a database of art that is scraped. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, clearly, Yoji, you're bringing up one of the key elements in the whole AI discussion, which is the AI referencing art that was done before to make new art. Where does morality come into that? And then there is a search engine to check if they're using your art. Yeah, but what are you going to do if they are? Can you? Are there legal ramifications for this robot using your own art? Someone once brought up here. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my microphone. Someone once brought up here in this chat how Pinterest is bullshit for artists, because Pinterest is this this unending wealth of art that a fair amount of artists did not consent to have their art on, versus like, you know, Instagram or Twitter or wherever else. And how Pinterest is using artists to sell ads and make money and yada yada yada. So the content on Pinterest is harvested from the internet at large, and nobody's getting paid for it but Pinterest. I did think that was a compelling argument, but we just kind of let it slide, right? Because what are you gonna do? What are you gonna ask? You can ask Pinterest to take your art down, and then somebody else is just gonna put it right the fuck back up. There is a search engine check if they're using art. There's probably going to be some lawsuits. It will take a while before the dust settles. One AI art company was just valued at $1 billion, so they will look to find a way to make money with it. Well, I mean, listen, somebody brought up in the message that I told you I saw on social media, where artists are posting AI art as regular art that they made. They're posting it on ArtStation. And if ArtStation is the hub where professionals gather, it's something. I think it's saying something. And someone in the chat brought up the point that some artists are already using Midjourney as a tool, right? So they don't, so if you're a photo basher, why wouldn't you, if you've got a prompt in your head from your art director or from yourself, and you've got access to Midjourney or an AI thing, why wouldn't you use it to have a little fun with? Just out of curiosity. Why not? And then go from there, right? So maybe Midjourney gives you nothing, maybe it gives you pure shit, but maybe it gives you a unique idea, and you just either photo bash it or use it as a reference or paint over it. I guarantee you countless artists, more than you'd probably care to admit, or they even admit to themselves, are doing paint overs, are doing Midjourney paint overs, not accrediting the AI out of shame or other reasons, faux morality, and uploading it as their own. Google has started having to pay news sites they scrape. I suspect that might spread to art aggregators like Pinterest too. But again, but yes, news sites. News sites, I understand, right? That's a giant organization, right? If you're scraping data from the the New York Times, the LA Times, yeah. But you go to Pinterest right now, if you're a Pinterest person, if you're a person who actively uses the website, and you go and you pull up whatever art it is you're looking for, you will find countless images of an artist's work. But not just him. Every artist, any artist who posts their art publicly can and will have it Pinterest, because all it is you just do it on your phone. I mean, hell, I'll do it on my goddamn phone right now. Just want to make sure there's no titties for you guys. But here, I'm pulling up Instagram. It's loading. Ooh, I got 100. Ooh, I got 100 interactions. But look, as it loads up, look at my feed. It's all plants and art. All right, here. So I don't know who this artist is. Actually, I don't like this all that much. I like this though. But look, check this out. Once this loads, rather. I don't even think I need it to load. All right. You just hit share, and look at that. Boom. Immediately, I can Pinterest it. Just like that. Here, let me tap that Pinterest button. I'm just going to put it in one of my boards. Come on. I saved a pin. Let's go view it. Girl. Oh, this is just girl poses. Sometimes I've got some not safe for work reference boards. So I don't want you guys being exposed to anything naughty. Broads. No, not broads. Caught my art. There it is. Now I'm curious. I'm personally curious as to what happens when I go to the Pinterest board, which is public, by the way. You guys can go to that Pinterest board right now and see that pin. I want to see what happens when I click it. Where is it? Caught my eye. Will it go? Will it go? Yeah, no, it doesn't go to Instagram. Here, I'll show you guys right now. Oh, that's fucked. Here, look at this. Here, look, it does not go to Instagram when I do it. So as you can see, this is something I just posted up. Here, this is the very image you just saw me do. Actually, all of these images I made are from Instagram. But here's the most recent one from Instagram. So I click it, and then, view the image, right? This is usually where it should pop up, right to this person's. It doesn't go to the person's Instagram. It just goes to the raw image itself. I've completely cut out the artist entirely. I wasn't paying attention. I don't know who that artist is. But guess what? I literally just did the thing I was telling you about. Without that artist's permission, without their consent, without their approval, I just took their art and posted it on a public site. And I posted it publicly, and it might not get any hits, but it might get 1 million hits, as is the wild ways of the internet. Let's see. Google got sued and lost for scraping tiny images of the nude photo site Perfect 10. So there's already a precedence. Right. But again, I mean, for Pinterest, right? Who's going to sue Pinterest? You'd have to what? How many different artists? So that's the thing. There isn't one. The website Perfect 10 can sue Google, right? For violating its, the rights to its creations. News websites can sue Google for circumventing their paywall and offering it for free, because that's copyright infringement, right? But for a person, just a single person who finds their work on Pinterest and is upset and reports it, and maybe they take it down and then it goes right back up because, you know, it's the internet, man. You can't stop people from sharing stuff on the internet. Even but you know how you know? Because people share horrible things on the internet. Illicit, illegal things are shared all across the internet every day. Pinterest is cutting out the artists because they don't want it to get sued and they don't want it to be traced back to them. Well, they do. Well, if there is an artist who's upset with their stuff being on the website, someone will make a mistake and copy from Disney or Nintendo. But that's what I'm talking about. Here, you know, you name a Disney or a Nintendo property. Here, I'm just going to type in, who owns Pokemon? Nintendo does, doesn't it? But dude, yeah, no. Type in Pokemon on Pinterest and every single image is copyright infringement when you think about what's going on, right? Because you're looking at fan art, you're looking at, you know, trademark stuff, copyright stuff rather. You're looking at official merchandise, you're looking at unofficial merchandise, you're looking at stuff from JCPenney that's licensed, and then you're looking at all this unlicensed stuff, including like perhaps even some promotion of unlicensed, you know, illegal fan art being sold. Meanwhile, Pinterest is making ad revenue for every ad that pops up on this white website. For every click that you make for, yeah, I gotta look, there's an ad for Southwest Airlines popped up on my Pinterest feed as I look at Pokemon stuff. If Nintendo realizes if it's not something they're aware of, then it might take a while. Well, here's what happens. This is why it's inherently futile, even for big companies, because it's the YouTube thing or the Instagram or Twitter thing. Nintendo catches wind of Pinterest uploading copyrighted material that they don't have the rights to, but are profiting off of. So they tell Pinterest, hey, take this down. And Pinterest complies. And then an hour later, it's right back up. And that's YouTube, more or less. Because it is user generated, they hold, you know, they claim no liability. So when somebody uploads something, you know, that's copyright to YouTube, and hence YouTube's copyright system, it's like it gets claimed and then taken down, and then somebody uploads it again, but you know, they change the audio, or they change some of the visuals. I've seen entire episodes of TV shows, I've seen movies uploaded to YouTube, and what they do is they sometimes they flip the image, sometimes they do all kinds of crazy things to circumvent copyright. So I don't. Eric, here, quick question: what's your take on a website like Pinterest profiting off? Because I've seen your art. So they're not profiting off of you solely, but they're profiting off of you and your peers collectively, right? Making money, selling ads, and I think they might even have a subscription service now. You know, but basically the content generated on that site has got nothing to do with anything that they've made. It's just an aggregate of work that doesn't belong to them.
Sure. It's not anything too dissimilar from Google, right? Only this time they're not a search engine.
Right. But yeah, it's user based.
Yeah, Google is making money off of it. Everybody's making money. I don't like the idea, obviously. If you're asking me for a baseline reaction, I'm like, I don't like the idea. What can I do about it? Whatever.
I know, right? I think that's kind of it, right? It's not fair. It's not right. That's what they get away with it. That's what they get away with. Yeah, but what we were talking about is there's a singular artist on Pinterest is a drop in the bucket versus versus Google directly stealing from, Google got busted for, scraping images from a website that had a paywall, and they got sued and lost because that's copyright infringement, right? But the way companies like Pinterest, aggregates, who do not consider themselves curators, merely a platform in which users can upload whichever they want, like YouTube, like Instagram, like Pinterest, they're able to wash their hands of any kind of copyright by saying, hey, we don't post this stuff. This stuff is posted to our site, and when you notify us, we'll take it down. But as we all know, it's complete bullshit, because the second you take it down, it's like trying to kill a hydra. The second you take down one person's uploads, somebody else comes along and uploads it again, and so on and so on, and so on and so forth. But this conversation really leads me back to the Midjourneys and the other AI art creators. I spotted a post on social media where somebody said that people on ArtStation are clearly using AI generated art as their own on the platform. And to a trained eye, it's kind of easy to point out. Yoji says that ArtStation banned people using AI art, and other art sites have as well. And I said, who gives a shit what they ban, unless there's a way for them to fucking prove, either via the metadata or elsewise, that something is created by Midjourney. But that could be remedied pretty quickly. But then
ArtStation really banned like AI generated art?
That's what Yoji said.
Interesting. Okay.
Let's see. This artist is dominating AI generated art, and he's not happy about it. Greg Rakowski. These cool AI generated images you've seen across the internet, there's a good chance they're based on the works of Greg Rakowski. Rakowski is a Polish digital artist who uses classical painting styles to create dreamy fantasy landscapes. He has made illustrations for such games as blah, 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 impressive resume, distinctive style. For example, type in a wizard with a sword and a glowing orb of magic fires. I will show this to you. I will show this to you so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Type in wizard with sword and glowing orb of...
They banned it. They banned it because they thought, hey, this is not fair to the original sort of creators, if not copyright holders of these images, correct?
I would assume so.
Yeah. So it's a principle call.
I'm guessing here, let's see, Midjourney AI art. Midjourney AI art creations. I'm trying to think, I'm trying to find the maybe it's in Midjourney founder says the world needs more imagination. Here, let's see. Our stand 2 weeks ago. Flooded with AI
in imagination.
Flooded with AI generated images, some art communities can ban them completely. Smaller art communities are banning image synthesis and amid wider art ethics debate.
What is it about AI that people have an allergic reaction to? Is it because it's so deliberate? Whereas like photo bashing was less deliberate?
If I had to guess,
yeah.
I've seen a lot of discussions I've seen about it in regards to this very thing, right? That Midjourney built its system on taking images that was art created by many countless artists, in history, in modern day, and it creates based on what it's learned and doesn't credit them in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That's what I think. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know.
I think it's an ethical call, right? I think it's I'm oversimplifying, but Midjourney, all the different types of AI generative art is a pandemic version of what photo bashing had become. But it's more deliberate about where the source is being taken from, right?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't particularly target specific artists. It can, you can put in Da Vinci, blah 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 blah, whatever your word prompts are, and then it mixes it all in the bowl, right, and outputs something that is akin to hints of whatever, however you want to describe it, to the prompts. But I've seen that version, less pandemic version of photo bashing from a long time ago, where people are just like, cropping things in and out. I'm doing a version of it myself, whereas I'm paying for this is the really light version where I'm paying for like textures that somebody has built,
Sure.
I'm photo bashing it into something because I don't want to go and render it, So you multiply that times 1,000 times 1 million, and that's where we are right now. I think that's what it is. I think it's because it's less work to do, and it's still not coming from an artist. I don't know. It's not to say that I don't have a problem with Midjourney and all the 3 or 4 things that are out there. I get it. I understand. I am not as maybe threatened isn't the right word, but I'm not as annoyed by it, seemingly, as a lot of different people are.
Yeah, here, let me. Some artists may have been harmed in the process. This, according to this Ars Technical article, some artists may have been harmed in the process. Other artists besides Rukowski have been surprised by the apparent popularity of their work in text-to-image generators, and some are now fighting back. Carla Ortiz, an illustrator based in San Francisco, yada yada.
Sure.
She's pretty well known in that community.
Carla's awesome.
Artists say they risk losing income. She says. Oh, she's been raising awareness about the issues around AI art and copyright. Artists say they risk losing some income as people start using AI generated images based on copyrighted material for commercial purposes, but it's also a lot more personal. Ortiz says, arguing that because art is so closely linked to a person, it could raise lost my place. It could raise data protection and privacy problems. There is a coalition growing within artist industries to figure out how to tackle or mitigate this, says Ortiz. The group in its early days of mobilization, which could involve pushing for new policies or regulation. One suggestion is that AI models could be trained on images in the public domain, and AI companies could forge partnerships with museums and artists. It's not just artists, it's photographers.
I think if there's a strong...
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike, go ahead.
No, just to finish this quote. It's not just artists, it's photographers, models, actors, actresses, directors, cinematographers. Any sort of visual professional is having to deal with this particular question right now.
Yeah, I think if there is the most robust argument is the one that Carla is making, in my opinion, which is it didn't have regulation. It doesn't have regulation, so it does have a tendency to just make everything all at once all the same. And some of these images are copyright in whole, but also in part by the copyright holders, by the original artists themselves. And mind you, right now we're centering everything around like concept art, blah blah blah. But there's like photographers and painters and all of the video makers, the whole bit. So it's across the board. You can't look at it in part and say, well, I took only 1% of it. Because, people are trying to apply preconceived notions of copyright protection as far as transformative and yada yada, but that only covered a certain aspect of what transformative means. AI is now what would you say, Mike? It's sort of like it metamorphosed into what it is now. So you have to redefine what protections are. And so right now, without understanding and having any regulations as its baseline, it can be bastardized pretty quickly. It can be taken advantage of pretty quickly. I think it's one of the reasons why Google really is proactive about not having the term Google as part of a normal vernacular. Whenever somebody says in a copyrighted work, "Hey, why don't you just go Google it?" Because you use that enough, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly, it just becomes the thing. Suddenly it's uncopyrightable, it's unprotectable, because it's just become part of modern vernacular.
Yeah.
So I think in the spirit of that, I think is what's happening in Carla's argument. So I appreciate where she's coming from.
Let's see. Mason encourages artists who don't want any of their works in the data set to contact. It's this organization. I guess maybe Ortiz is actually making an organization to rally against that. Open source AI is a tremendous innovation. We appreciate that there are open questions and different legal opinions. We expect them to be resolved over time as AI becomes more ubiquitous and different groups come to a consensus as to how to balance individual rights and essential AI/ML research. We strive to find the balance between innovating and helping the community. Berlin-based artists such and such are working on tools to help artists opt out of being in training data sets. They launched a site, Have I Been Trained, which lets artists see whether their works are among the 5.8 billion images in the data
Somebody showed me that, and then they plugged in my name, and there it was. Have I Been Trained?
Ooh, I want to see If I've Been Trained. I highly doubt it, dude.
Here's another thing. I think the people who are rallying against it, I think why I respect and believe in Carla's perspective more, which is working with the people who have developed this, is because you can't put the genie back in the bottle.
No.
This
Absolutely
thing exists.
not.
You have to find a way to sort of coexist with this thing, but with certain protections in place. The other thing, the opting out part, sure, that's a decent mechanism. But again, it's a little bit more, I think that's a little bit more of a steep hill to climb, if not a mountain, if not a cliffside.
Yeah.
I think where Carla's coming from is like, hey, we want to work with you in order to make your thing viable, usable, because we're not going to be able to get away from you, But we have to find a way in by which it's beneficial to both of us, because right now it has a tendency to be very one-sided, right? Did I talk to you about that person who's like they didn't want to share their prompts?
Yeah.
Because they believe it's their set of words that give the results, the output, like the quote unquote soul. Did you see that?
I didn't see the soul part, but I have.
Oh yeah.
It's not the first time I've heard people, talk about how their prompts are theirs, because people are looking at prompts as now. Prompts are like, if the tool is a hammer, the prompts are the person or you wielding it.
Oh god, it's the most convoluted, non-self-aware version of these dum-dums.
Yeah.
Who suddenly found themselves at the front end of something useful that they would never had access to in the past. Right? Suddenly, there's a level of like self-importance in that statement that make me go like, "Oh, you useless piece of shit! You really think you're relevant because of your prompts?" I made an analogy to somebody who says like, I never share the list of words that represents my groceries because I believe it's in those words that makes the 5-star meal stand out the way it does. And I said, you mean like the ingredients, right? Like the ingredients or the quality, like the actual mixture, like you know what I mean? Like the preparation time.
Right.
Like, nope, just the words on the fucking grocery list. That's how, if you were to say it in that context, people would look at you and go like, you're stupid. You know that you're stupid, right? And I don't think these guys are that level of Yeah, I don't think I'm as important as I think I am, especially once you start throwing the word like soul into it. I think it's my prompts that give the artwork generated by this AI the soul. First of all,
Hmm?
that's a high level of retardation. That's a high level of like disconnect.
Oh yeah.
To think that the machine is somehow injecting soul into these things that it's aggregating.
Nonsense.
So I heard you use the grocery list example, right?
Yeah.
What if said recipe, right, uses an ingredient that no one else has thought of?
Yeah.
Like there is that problem where, like, here's the thing. I've been listening. I just saw that you guys were live.
Oh, you're talking about the Colonel's secret standard. The Colonel's yeah.
Exactly. So there are recipes that, let's say the recipe is common to everybody, but you put in a certain ingredient that nobody does, and that's why yours tastes unique. I can understand why somebody would be saying, in this case, my prompts are my
100%.
intellectual property, essentially.
Yeah, I agree with you, Matt. I think the where it gets sort of like homogenized is that even though the secret sauce, like you're saying, like, hey, what is it about the Colonel Sanders herbs and spices that
7 herbs and spices, brother.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. The thing is, the AI doesn't. It aggregates all of that anyway, so it filters it out to a homogenized version of that word. It doesn't know that that's the secret. You think that it is, right? Because you added like pepper or whatever. That's some weird, you mix pepper and strawberries together, right?
Yeah.
I think what the AI does, it takes all of that and puts it down the middle of the road anyway, right? So it doesn't make it unique. If that's what you're getting, I know where you're coming from. It's in the combination of those 7 things that you say, like, oh yeah, okay, so that now that we have, that's what makes KFC, right?
So
Right.
do people really think that the AI art is going to take over? Like, I just started listening about 15 minutes ago. Is the whole concept like
Some
what we
people
do as
do.
artists is unique, and the fact that they can just type in my name and then a flag, they can still, the internet will pool my styling to this image type thing?
Some of them do. I know, not being self-aware enough that if you go through ArtStation, there's like a level of like samey to everybody's art, because concept artists are all sort of like, at least visually, they go where the money is, and so there's a they themselves are accidentally aggregating the look and feel of their body of work. It's all borderline visually incestuous, the way they design and like render. It's all almost the same. What they're getting at, I think that's the reason why I kind of like shrug. I'm like, you guys are all feeding off each other anyway, where I'm coming from is similar to where Carla is coming from, which is, hey, this is a new piece of technology. It clearly is taking advantage of what's already pre-existing. You can train it to get better at its job. Right now, it's completely one-sided as a model. We have to accommodate for the other side of the equation, which is the place that it's taking it from. Typically, these artists who have really done their work, because whenever a lot of the images that are coming out there, are specific about the kind of style, and there are certain artists, if you track back the genealogy of the incest that these people are all taking from, those people should be rewarded. Those people should be compensated somehow, even if in credit alone,
Yeah.
The AI art I've seen hasn't been very impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, some that will trick you. I mean, like, if you didn't, there's some where you're like, oh my god, that's clearly Midjourney, right? Midjourney sometimes, if not tailored specifically, can have its specific kind of stink on can have its kind of stink on something if you're not editing it enough. But like I said, I've posted a few. I haven't looked at it. It's been a couple weeks since I've dipped into that realm. But there was one where I almost messaged, I think it was Matt Hollingsworth, because I wanted to see if I get the high-res image so I could print it out. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful and didn't feel like Midjourney at all. Let's see. Hang on. Let me finish this article. AI generated art poses tricky legal questions. In the UK, where stability AI is based, scraping images from the internet without the artist's consent to train an AI tool could be a copyright infringement, says Gil Dennis, a lawyer at the firm. Such and such, copyrighted works can be used to train an AI under fair use, but only for non-commercial purposes. While Stable Diffusion is free to use, Stability AI also sells premium access to the model through a platform called Dream Studio. The UK, which hopes to boost domestic AI development, wants to change laws to give AI developers greater access to copyrighted data. Under these changes, developers would be able to scrape works protected by copyright to train their AI systems for both commercial and non-commercial purposes. While artists and other rights holders would not be able to opt out of this regime, they will be able to choose where they make their works available. The art community could end up moving to a pay-per-play or subscription model like the one used in the film and music industries. The risk, of course, is that rights holders simply refuse to make their works available, which would undermine the very reason for extending fair use in the AI development space in the first place.
So this is what I see happening.
Wait, hang on. Let me just finish
AI
this.
art. Oh, sorry.
Just last paragraph. In the U.S., LinkedIn lost a case in an appeals court, which ruled last spring that scraping publicly available data from sources on the internet is not a violation of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. Google also won a case against authors who objected to the company scraping their copyrighted works for Google Books.
There's a certain set of precedents for it already, right?
Yeah, scraping publicly available data from... Yeah. Court ruled...
This is what you do.
Yeah, what's up?
If you find a piece of art that AI created that has your influence in it, you NFT that bitch on him immediately.
Oh, I see.
That way it belongs to
a,
you.
Because the technology, again, is so new, there's no way to take a look at the AI art and be like, who is in there? So they're building... The people who are now sort of like, hey, we can't put the genie back in the bottle. We are now building the technology that says, hey, did you know that those multiple pixels that are in there, that belongs to this particular file?
Well, I mean, there is basic copyright infringement. So, like, if you are an artist that does have a character, like character sets or whatever, like let's say Urban Animal was part of the influence that gets thrown into an AI art. If any of your actual characters come out with any resemblance, you have a claim there. But it sounds like what they're saying essentially is because your art isn't directly in here and it's only an influence, it's not theft. This is something different.
Yeah, and copyright and trademark is two different things, but also copyright is like how much of it is transformative to the point where we have transforming robots, and one of them happens to be like red and blue. This original is Optimus Prime, but this one not so much, but it also transforms into a truck. You know, like you start getting into this space of like what of that is visually copyrightable and how much of the transformative worth. That's the thing that we've dealt with historically, right? So cool, let them work it out. But Midjourney takes so many samples from all over the place. Transformative works is no longer not no longer, but it's not as applicable because it doesn't change it just by 30%. It literally takes from hundreds, if not thousands, of sources to build this thing.
Yeah, it's not a one-to-one.
Now, the people that are really, really scared of this thing, like, is the claim essentially just that at some point it's going to rip them off?
That's one. The other one is the extreme, which is like, you know, once companies, again, this is from the concept art community, once companies start understanding how to use these prompt things better, you know, they can hire a narrative set, primarily words people, to like plug in concept art and say, or plug in words so that it generates the concept art for their film, for their projects, for their whatever.
Right, Matt, you got to...
So there will be a position in a company one day of AI artist.
Yes, AI, you know, AI engineer, AI, whatever the term they come up with.
Yeah, Matt, you got to think of it like this, man. It's business, right? So it's art, the marriage of art and commerce. So of course companies are going to think, hey, listen, we hire all these artists to do said amount of work. with this AI, I mean, as it improves and improves and improves and grows and matures, what's the room? What's the wiggle room for a thing that, you know, doesn't need a 401k, doesn't need health insurance, doesn't need, you know, paid family leave? How much can we trim? Not completely replace an art department, although who knows in the future, but you know, I'm talking about in the near future. You know, how much can you trim? How much can you get rid of?
Let's assume for a minute that Marvel Cinematic Universe has another 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Their art department has generated a specific style, right? Now we can take a look at Marvel stuff. What do they call it? Marvel Studios. Art, and be like, oh yeah, we know what that is. You know, like it's identifiable as a look and feel, as a stuff that there's enough of it out there, in art books, in just on the internet, just based on people's Instagram and blah blah blah, right? Let's say they have another 10 years, and now they've come up with their next set of movies. It's conceivable, once this thing gets sophisticated enough, that art department gets whittled down very quickly, because how hard would it be? The 10 years from now equivalent version of like Chris Pratt, plugging in, oh gosh, I don't know, the Marvel, the next Marvel, let's say, like, you know, Chris Pratt's Captain America in the style of Marvel Studios. AI knows what to do with that. It'll build it, and with with enough variation to proxy as concept art.
See, I see what you're saying of how, like, because that's specifically in the graphic design industry of entertainment, but I see this being more of a company has a graphic, you know, a company's big enough where they have a graphic design department that makes the advertisements for them, that mocks up the images they want to use. I see it being more of a, like, those companies now fire their 3 people and they have an intern to type in keywords.
Yes,
like,
that's
to
also
me,
true.
that would be a big thing of, like, you're gonna have
That is
people
also
that are graphic designers that are replaced by fucking AI.
Yes.
Yep, and that is unique to, like, your perspective, Matt. My perspective, I suspect that if we open the forum up, everybody would be like, well, in my industry, I would conceptually be out of a job if this thing gets 2x, 3x more sophisticated.
But do you think, like, Marvel and shit is gonna turn to AI? I mean, they've already got such a
Yoji,
Disney would allow that, though?
Yoji
Like,
just brought up a good point.
Penises?
Yoji brought up a good point, which this just came out in the last week. James Earl Jones, because he's in his 90s, he signed over his voice rights to Disney, Star Wars specifically, because he can't do it anymore. And if you watch the last season of Obi-Wan, it sounded like, and I knew something was off the second I heard his voice, versus in the prequels, because the prequels, Vader voiceover that you hear, it's a little, you could tell there's some age on that James Earl Jones, right? His voice is.
Oh, I gotta excuse myself.
Okay,
gentlemen, have a great morning. I'll talk to you
later, buddy. So if you're specifically, I believe it was it Rogue One? Did he say anything in Rogue One? The last time James Earl Jones did the Vader voice, like in the last like 10 or 15 years, it was quite clear that, I don't want to say he's lost a step, but listen, when you're old, everything fails. Your bones, your muscles, your joints, and your voice too. So his voice wasn't the booming.
No, they had it very distorted in the new Obi-Wan.
Yeah, so in the Obi-Wan, he sounded, to me, the only way I was able to catch it is that he sounded like the Vader from the 1980s. James Earl Jones had his youthful, powerful voice back, a voice from 40 years ago. And that, I was like, wait, no. I've heard James Earl Jones's voice in the last 20 years. This is not how he sounds like anymore. And I think it worked to their favor personally, because to me, it was like I was listening to Vader from A New Hope. It was that level of like, holy shit, he's in his raw form again. But yet it was because it was all digital. James Earl Jones never spoke a word. it was all just created from nothing.
Yeah, it's how they did Val Kilmer's voice now that he's got no voice box. That's how they have him sounding like himself.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's got a thing, an AI voice box essentially. So when he goes to speak, it projects the whatever he wants to say, but through his own voice done with AI.
That's fucking crazy.
They did it so he could hear his voice again, because he hadn't been able to since the cancer surgery.
Damn, dude, that's something else, man. But yeah, so James, you will never hear James Earl Jones's real voice as Vader again, anymore. Like, that is what's done is done.
Which is
and
a little sad.
Listen, man, that's it is. You
gotta move on. I don't even know why we're still worried about James Earl Jones's voice. Like, there's not some asshole who's 25 that loves Star Wars and knows how to do a great Vader.
I don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah, again, to your point, to the point that we started, that kicked off this particular conversation. Why would they pay a new guy to do? Why they got to pay that guy? You know, a decent sum of money, and then what happens when they need him again?
They paid somebody to deliver the lines. It was just converted into James Earl Jones's voice, which is
right.
I guess it's cool when you think about it, but the whole time you guys have been talking, I've been thinking, like, when does Skynet come into play?
Oh, always. I was watching the first episode of actually, hang on, before we completely go off the rails. Yoji, what are your thoughts on the last part of the article, in which, you know, with articles like this, web scraping is legal. U.S. Appeals Court reaffirms. Good news for, you know, scraping publicly accessible data is legal according to the U.S. Appeals Court ruling, right? And there was a couple instances of this, and then you know, and then also the case that Google won against the Authors Guilds, basically saying that Google can, in fact, here, the case concerned fair use in copyright law and the transformation of printed copyright books into online searchable database through scanning and digitization. Yeah, the court found that that's completely legal for Google to do. So yeah, no, it seems like there's a building legal precedent for tech companies to scrape data from the internet. Now going back to our Skynet conversation, Matt, I was watching Cyberpunk, the new anime Netflix Cyberpunk show, and the first episode is awesome. First episode is dope. I can't wait to watch more episodes. Really see where it goes. I wonder, man. You played, you played Cyberpunk, right?
Yeah, I'm playing it again, actually. I jumped back in because everybody's talking about how great it is after the update.
Oh, nice. You know what? I got to check it out after the update. But I wouldn't be surprised if people start picking up Cyberpunk again after the success of this TV show, this animation, Japanese animation.
Well, I guess last week they were talking about how it had like 1 million concurrent players again. It's doing better than it did even at launch, between what they've done to patch it up and the new edge runners, and like for whatever reason NVIDIA is throwing it back out there in the forefront of the RTX marketing.
No shit.
Like the NVIDIA 4000 series cards are all supposed to have DLSS 3.0 exclusive to those cards, and Cyberpunk is like once again one of their models that they're showing off.
So what I wonder currently is, I'm watching Cyberpunk and I'm thinking, this world in Cyberpunk isn't, listen, it's clearly hyperbolic, right? It's clearly not our world, but you see the influences, and you see how this nightmare dystopia, much like it was in the 80s, is just, it's like our imagination of how horrible things can get and how horrible things can be if we're not careful, right? As a society, as a people, these, you know, if we allow you know, this level of capitalism where these corporations own us like cattle, and then they just creep into every aspect of our lives, and this is that future just pushed to the extreme. And yeah, a few steps in that, right? And a few steps in the cyberpunk reality where corporations start owning land and then having their own armies and then overtaking, cities and states and then basically having wars over, like, it's hyperbolic. But I was thinking
we're
back
pretty close already with the private security teams existing, Blackwater, things like that.
right. I mean, but like I said, it's just, these are just aspects of our pre-existing life just pushed into the most extreme version of what's already happening. Now, I was thinking about Star Wars, not Star Wars, Star Trek specifically, and how in the 60s, James T. Kirk pulling out his communicator and speaking to Spock, to the, way far off. I mean, that's
that was before. That means cell phones. Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Or
walkie-talkie do it. I mean, they were probably going off of the idea behind the old World War II radios, and then we're just like, but imagine one that could use satellites and go across the world, and
right,
that is our cell phones.
Right. And then you look at the next generation, the early 80s, about almost 40 years ago, they're using tablets. They're using essentially what would become the iPad. They oh man, dude, it's one of those things where you wonder, are we willing these realities into existence? I mean, it sounds a little metaphorical, but basically, like, our science fiction pushing us, showing us where to go, right? Even even pulling somebody up on the viewfinder, right? Pulling somebody up on the view screen, having these kind of face-to-face communications. I mean, it's literally FaceTime.
Yeah. You've also got the idea of, like, if you ever watch either space movies or like Santa Claus did it, he's got his magical ball that could see anyone at any time. And you could equate that to one of two things: Google Earth, or people constantly streaming themselves, people being online, content creators. Like, I mean, wasn't that the whole thing behind sci-fi? It was part imagination, part what one day we think it's going to be like. That was always the concept to me, even in the old school days, was like, yeah, we're going with technological fantasy, but it's also where we think and or hope we're going to be one day in society.
Sure. I mean, in regards to Star Trek, absolutely, it's where we hope one day we'll end up in this kind of utopia. But I'm like, what if we're like pushing ourselves towards cyberpunk?
Yeah, making even the negatives become reality because we have no choice. We've already manifested them.
Yeah, like we're maybe willing to or not. Again, we've talked about this before. We use that quote. I forget the person who made the specific quote, but it was humanity is the sex organs of the machine. Basically meaning that we are like a caterpillar that is unwittingly, slowly but surely getting ready to become a butterfly, and whatever that means in regards to man and technology.
Chinese legend has a story about a flying chariot. Is that sci-fi? Well, the old Hebrew textures have a story about the end days being a flying scroll, which they've translated into meaning a missile. So that's the thing, is like, you can't rely upon what things were in the past, written by people in the past, because we have no idea what they are in the future. Like if you took an airplane to somebody in 1840, it'd be easy to go, you're an alien, you're not from this world.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is all kind of like perspective, isn't it? I guess. I personally hope Skynet comes and I can be in that war. I'm gonna be on Team Terminator. They had familiars, right?
Let's hope they do. So Chris Pratt being Star-Lord forever. I mean, they digitally created a young Luke Skywalker. Now, a little wonky, let's be honest, a little wonky, a little off. Better than the first time, the Luke Skywalker that showed up in the Book of Boba Fett. Much better than the Luke Skywalker we saw at the end of Mandalorian Season 2.
I mean, they did recreate Edward Furlong in the latest Terminator.
Did they? How'd they do with that?
he didn't look bad. Like they mapped his face to a kid and it didn't look terrible. But spoiler alert, he gets like murdered within the first few minutes.
He gets the old shotgun to the face or something along those lines.
Like,
right?
and isn't that kind of the funny thing? Like some like I saw the Luke one from Mandalorian, and then 2 weeks later I saw videos on YouTube. We fixed the Mandalorian's Luke.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know.
Yeah, they actually hired
some
that
of it
guy.
when it looks. Oh, did they? Good. Yeah, because like I saw that video after. I was like, how is Disney doing this quality and this dude's on YouTube? Like, hey, guess what? I fixed your shit.
Time. Apparently Favreau waited until the last second because he didn't want anybody to catch word that Luke Skywalker was making an appearance. So it was a crunch time thing. At least that's what people say. But they did in fact hire the YouTuber that fixed Luke. They hired him and added him to the team.
That's pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
That's like one of the best stories of getting a job ever. Like, yeah, I showed Disney why they suck and they hired me.
Yeah, right. I mean, but that's great for the company though, right? Like, hey, you know what? You said we suck. You proved that we suck. You got the job.
Yeah, they
kid.
could have sued him for using their property and releasing it, but instead they were like, oh, no, man, you're awesome. Like, you're right.
Yeah.
Our version did suck. Come fix it for us.
Yeah, why the hell not? You want a job, kid?
Ain't much better than he, kid.
Yes.
I just remember that from Home Alone 2. I don't know why. That's burned into my brain for my whole life.
Well, that guy looks like a fucking monster.
Dude, I mean, as an adult, though, he really does just look like one of those fat cab drivers, like back in the 80s, 90s, that would, like, eat hot dogs at the wheel. Like, he just looked like
eat
that.
Hot dogs and chain smoke, that'll get you that face.
Yeah, hey, can you turn on the AC? No, as he's puffing off. You know, one of those fucking guys. But when I was a kid, that scene was like, holy shit, this dude's deformed.
He's a monster.
Oh, have you been seeing the Munsters reviews coming out?
No. Apparently it's awful, isn't it?
I called it. I said it was going to be, from the moment I saw the trailer, I said it's going to be a piece of shit.
It looked terrible. I saw 5 seconds of that trailer and I thought,
that's all it took to turn you off completely.
I know.
Me too.
I was like, because generally I'm like, I'm always kind of the wait and see guy. You know, don't write something off before, you know, but goddamn, dude, like there are some things where you just know you're not going to like it. It's like, you know what, I don't need to, it's rare for me. I generally like to give things the benefit of the doubt. At least see it myself before I, you know, pass judgment. But god damn, it just looked bad. Like, I'm just talking about, like, the content looked bad. The way it was shot, everything.
He could, if he would have gone dark and he would have gone normal zombie, it would have been but the problem is it looks like he went with what the show actually was and just tried to recreate it. And unfortunately, there's no content to the Munsters. Like, you could try to give it an origin story, which is what they're doing. But, like, there is no content to Herman Munster. Rob Zombie used to be a decent filmmaker. However, he's had, what was it? The Witch movie he made was shit. The movie 13 he made was shit. 3 from Hell was garbage. Like, he hasn't had a good movie since Devil's Rejects.
Oh, I remember that. It was a White Trash Killer Hillbilly, the movie.
I mean,
which is his genre.
If he titled a movie White Trash Hillbilly Killer, people would go see it. Like, if he did a low-budget movie that released at midnight in every theater, like, I would go see that.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
That sounds like what he should be making.
Yeah, that's his forte. That's his wheelhouse, and he's good at it, I'd say. Yeah, why not? But no, with this Munster thing.
I mean, I'd argue if he did Munsters and turned it into a violent horror movie, like, whatever his vision it would have been better than making a 2022 The Munsters movie about what the Munsters used to be about. Like, have you ever watched the Munsters? I used to.
When I was, I'd catch it on reruns, but I was a kid.
It's not a movie. Like, you don't make a movie out of the Munsters because there's nothing to it. The whole idea was giant Frankenstein, you know, goof of a husband. It was the Addams Family, but slightly tweaked.
Yeah. Yes.
With that said, yeah, apparently it's coming to Netflix at some point.
Ugh. Keep it.
I saw Yoji talking about the video card prices. Isn't that fucking ridiculous, dude?
Dude, I saw that. Those are insane.
It's a good time for AMD, considering they got their free open source AMD FSR 2.0. which is essentially DLSS, and it's getting better and better. And this is time for them to make their video cards as cheap as they can, and oversell NVIDIA by a lot. If AMD can come within 10 to 15% of the power these video cards can, and they're cheaper at all, people will go to AMD. EVGA is no longer even making video cards, so NVIDIA doesn't have that branding to even help them out. There is no special cards anymore, really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm not buying it. I got a 3070 this past year. I spent retail on it. I'm happy with it so far. Like, there's no way. I don't think I will be jumping into the video game market or video game card realm again for another generation or two.
Yeah, no. I mean, who the hell can afford it? God damn.
Well, not if AMD is smart. If they have something that's within a 10% equivalency to the 4080, and they sell it for $899, $900 even, if the cards are $1,200 or $1,100, people will still move over there. If you keep it under $1,000 when these cards are all over $1,000, like if you keep it, you know, I think you have a good shot to undercut them a bit. I still think, considering the 3070 or the 3000 series were cheaper, I think it's the wrong move to go back to fucking crazy expensive. But we'll see. I mean, I think if it gets to the point where NVIDIA starts going, yeah, man, DLSS 3.0 is only available on the 4000 series, I think people like me, I'm going to be switching over to AMD FSR, whatever iteration they have it after that, and not worry about it. Like, this is the sort of shit that will make me move over to an AMD card architecture.
It's just, I mean, so much goddamn money.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing that's nice about video cards. One video card at this point is double the cost of a next-gen console. You could theoretically get both of them for the price of one video card. But PCs are like Frankenstein, so you can kind of get that video card now, and that'll extend it this much. And then you toss in a new CPU a year or two down the road and extends it this much. Although consoles are getting close, man. Pretty soon they're just going to be affordable, customizable PCs.
I mean, listen, I still enjoy a console.
Well, especially now, you can, like, I've got the Series X. You know, most shit runs incredible, looks incredible on it. It's a great piece of hardware.
Do you pay for that pass? Game Pass?
I do pay for Game Pass. I would argue get a 3070 at your minimum, but 3060 is good. My wife's laptop's got a 3060 into it. I think Game Pass is the best deal you can find in fucking gaming today.
Yes, that's what I've been told.
I hate to sound like a salesman, but like, if you've got Game Pass, and I know over hundreds of games, yeah, but it's hundreds of games that like you potentially will actually want to fucking play. Like, the pool of Game Pass at this point, it used to be just Microsoft first party. Now then it started to trickle into third parties, and now it's moved into Ubisoft has products on it, EA has products on it. Like, if you have a PC and or an Xbox, right, and you don't have Game Pass, what are you doing? Like, if you want to play games, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, Yoji,
like,
what are you doing?
It's the cheapest method. Yeah, man. There was a Game Pass glitch last year when you could get a year for 10. There was another one too where you could get people had gotten like 36 months for like $30, because there was a promotion where if you upgraded, when it was going from regular Xbox Live to Game Pass Ultimate, and there was a promo where if you upgraded, you got, you know, so many months at a lower rate, blah blah blah. Well, people figured out how to glitch that, and they were getting like 36 months for the same price.
Yoji figured out how to do it. He's the mastermind.
He's got my vote. I will be part of his AI artist army.
Yoji's the one that killed James Earl Jones.
Oh, Yoji, why? He's over here like, I finished Darth Vader finally, and then he finds out that they're just using his voice now.
Oh, boy.
What made you go so early today, huh?
I gotta be out of here in like an hour from now. So I thought I could bang out a 2.5 hour stream. This way I could get a stream in without having to bail on stream entirely today. Do a little art.
Nice.
Yoji says, don't worry about me. I have a stockpile of PS4 and 5 games I still haven't played, along with tens of thousands of old games.
I am in my Steam library, dude. I got so much shit that I either get through Humble Choice, because I do that monthly, or I get on sale and I pick up. I've got like the back catalog is large. So I've been playing random shit, like I'm playing Mafia Definitive Edition right now.
I'm just playing Overcooked 2 with the lady. That's basically what I've been playing these days.
Yeah, we got to figure out what we're going to do for our next, because we have Sunday mornings right now, is basically we've been playing Splatoon 3 together.
Dude, I heard Splatoon 3 is a blast. Are you playing online?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's really the only, I mean, there is a single player, but the online's really the meat and potatoes. Yeah, it's Jen's favorite game. Like, Splatoon 2, she had maxed it out to the point where her gold was just infinite. Like, she was always at 999999999. Like, it was just, that's her. She's played, like, she's a Call of Duty bro for Splatoon.
Oh, no shit. Call of Duty. I think I'm getting that. The new one.
Yeah, I'll be picking it up. I mean, I also love the Call of Duty campaigns. So, like, I will play that campaign completely because I love their single-player campaign.
Haven't played a campaign since Modern Warfare 2.
I have another buddy who just basically only plays multiplayer titles. And
Yeah.
I try to convince everybody I can, like, play the fucking campaigns. If you have interest. You know, if you're somebody who bitches about the lack of... Which one, though? Because if it was Advanced Warfare, that one was
even Modern Warfare 2. The one that everybody was like, this is pretty good.
Modern Warfare 2 is a good game. The whole Modern Warfare trilogy they had was solid.
You know what it was? And for me, this isn't a Call of Duty thing. This is just an all games thing. The stakes don't feel good for me. I mean, unless it's a completely narrative game like Cyberpunk, like Elden Ring, where
that's what they've tried to create the new Call of Duties to be.
Yeah, where the lore and the story, it feels worthwhile. Like Elden Ring, I'm not fighting against human beings normally. Although I did get into the multiplayer towards the end, but it feels good. It feels like I'm participating in a story, whereas other games that I've played, Call of Duty specifically, for me, the more worthwhile endeavor was always beating the shit out of somebody online. Like that felt like knowing that there was somebody, like when I shot somebody on screen, there was another human being on the other end of that screen that was actively upset that I did that. Versus just shooting, some AI generated bad guy that I'm mowing down.
I still enjoy I will say, Yoji, I enjoyed Black Ops 3. I thought fighting robots was a little weak, but that campaign was incredibly violent and fucked up.
Oh, dude, yeah. Advanced Warfare
that
was a piece
cool.
of shit. It took me a second to remember.
I did not like Advanced Warfare at all, dude. Like that one, and even Infinity War, or whatever the fuck it was.
Was that the one after that? Immediately after that? Yeah, no.
Both of those I didn't love at all.
Well,
I didn't even like the online of either.
Yeah. No. It's like, guess what? You're gonna have to learn to double jump and shoot. And like you're gonna have to learn.
People were mad about that.
Dude, get ready to wall ride and shoot your fucking gun. And you're like, what the fuck is happening?
Basically, it was like Apex Legends just came out, or Titanfall was still popular, and they were trying to steal that concept.
Yeah, it was Call of Duty Titanfall, and it was bullshit. Like they clearly hadn't nailed the mechanics down, so it was. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, if you've never played Titanfall 2's campaign, that is one of the best campaigns you're gonna play. As far as first-person shooters goes, the story is pretty good on it. You get really at least I did. I got really invested into the characters. It wasn't just like, hey, some dumb robot jock. It was like you actually gave a shit about what happened to the people. I liked it a lot.
Later, Bill. What's up, Pedro? Do you have any interest in watching the Cyberpunk anime? I know you're not the biggest anime guy in town.
Me? Yeah, there's actually a couple things. Like the Cyberpunk one I've been looking at. I actually did watch the first season of Castlevania.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm not I'm not the biggest anime guy, and I don't know why either. It just that shit just didn't appeal to me when it appealed to all my buddies. But I've seen the classics, like I do like things like Akira. I am a big fan of the Studio Ghibli, however you pronounce it, movies.
Yeah.
Like
I've watched a couple of those.
I'm just not a huge anime guy, but like I do have interest in the cyberpunk, and it's actually one of the things that got me back into playing it, because I heard like the reviews of, people are all like, hey man, cyberpunk's actually really fucking good now, and I was like, yeah, well, I played it when it first came out, so I jumped back into that, and then part of it was I saw a trailer for the sci-fi, the anime. But yeah, you know me, I'm not huge, but the only problem is it's just me. Like my wife won't sit down and watch a fucking anime.
I made the missus watch Edge Runners with me, first episode. She made me watch the not Jordan Peele, the less talented one. Keegan-Michael Key is in a new show with the girl from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Rachel Bloom. Yes, reboot. Fucking trying his hand once again 20 years after the fact. Johnny Knoxville trying his hand at acting for another go, and he's actually pretty fucking good.
I don't hate Knoxville. In fact, I have a different outlook on him after
he's playing
watching
himself.
His Steve-O interview.
Oh, I did see his Steve-O.
Like in his interview, like I didn't get the feeling that he was a dude. Like he seemed like a very serious guy. And then he went on to talk about like how he's had brain damage from everything that's gone on in Jackass and whatnot, and this and that. And like they're just, I don't know if you watch, maybe it was just me, but watching the interview, I didn't get the feeling of like this guy's a party guy, this guy's fun. Like to me, he came off as just a serious dude.
I think he was, and I think well, there's that.
And he got sober.
You ever see that? Yeah, exactly. Well, they all got sober, right? There's that Steve-O take, because Bam Margera started running his mouth about the whole Jackass thing, and Bam was like, he's like, yeah, I got a couple of drinks in me, and fucking, you were doing this and you were doing that, and he oh God, I wish I remember the quote, but he's like, yeah, well, fucking Steve-O, he used to do this, and one time Knoxville did that, and then it cuts to Steve-O commenting on that clip of Bam Margera kind of going off, and Steve-O was like, dude, he's like, we were fucking kids, man. He's like, what you're talking about, like showing up to set blackout drunk or whatever it was, or fucking on, like, yeah, we did that shit, and then we stopped when we realized that, like, you can't, like Steve-O was talking about how.
Okay, so I hate Steve-O. I don't hate Steve-O. I hate, since he got sober, he does have a very like, just get sober, man. Like, and I think he gets too fucking preachy. And the truth of it is, if the dudes at Jackass didn't force him to get sober, he'd still be in his fucking shit. It's not like Steve-O one day woke up and said, "Oh man, I need to get sober." Like, he was forced into sobriety as well. And I don't like when he starts going into preach mode, I fucking hate
He wasn't preaching. He was just basically saying that it's just like Bam was, because Bam's vibe during the first clip was basically,
we got paid to be jackasses, now you're kicking me out.
Right. Yeah. Basically like, yo, whatever happened, we used to do this and we used to do that. And he's like, yeah, but that was, 20 years ago, man. Like we're 40-year-old men now, and we're trying to like just get this over with, do a movie, have some fun. It's, we thought we were fucking cool and everything was, we thought we were awesome and cool and fucking badasses then, but now we're basically saying we're all old and we all know better now, but Bam is still going at it like he's 18 to 20 years old.
Well, I think the difference is Bam's addictions also rely upon he's got mental illness.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the big differences. I think Steve-O was addicted because he was addicted, but I mean, if you see him now, he seems to have his shit relatively together. Like, I think that one of the big problems is Bam has mental illness, and then you combine that with post Jackass, he was not even arguably, he's the biggest. Like, maybe Knoxville somewhat was a little bit bigger at one point, but Bam was bigger, because after Jackass the show stopped, he did 5 or 6 seasons of Viva La Bam, and was making 400,000 an episode at the beginning or whatever, and then it just ballooned up from there. So, like, Bam, in my opinion, is the biggest Jackass star, at least money and everything. Like, Johnny Knoxville tried, but he floundered as well. So you have that, and then you have Ryan Dunn die, which I'm not going to say if Ryan Dunn hadn't died, he'd be better right now, but I think he would have. Like, he wouldn't have been as off the rails, maybe. Or him and Dunn could have done rehab together, because Dunn was a self-admitting alcoholic.
Yeah, no, man, I don't... God, listen, you're right. The deal is, they're all fucked up. And, junkies, some of them, either... Well, I think it's, honestly, it's the nature of what they do. A normal, well-adjusted human being who isn't addicted or doesn't have an addictive personality or who isn't broken mentally doesn't do what they do, right? That's not a normal way to fucking spend your time.
But that's where also I think Bam does have some credit, is you do get the fame, you do get the money, then you get enabled, and then the same people that enabled you in the beginning are now telling you you need to go and you need to be straight, otherwise you're fucked. So, like, I do understand that from Bam's point of view, because I guarantee you, you know, because they all got sober in Jackass 3. That was, like, right before that was the movie that was their first sober Jackass. So it was like, I can see where he was like, wait a second, we were all doing this. You guys decided to flip the script. All I'm doing was I've always done, and now I'm the bad guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, if he wouldn't have talked about Tremaine's family in any way, which I don't think he did. I think his whole thing with Tremaine was, look at your family, like, tell them you love them, and that was in the reference of, like, because I'm going to come after you. I personally don't think Bam was threatening his family. I think it was a drunken, pill-popped threat to Tremaine himself. So I think that was more of, like, it's the same shit of, like, yeah, man, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you when I see you, but he said it in a weird, ominous, stupid way.
Yeah, no, listen, the guy's fucked up, and I don't blame him for not wanting to have that dude on set. I wouldn't want to have that dude on set, especially. And
well, he's liability and a half.
Yeah, no, man, he's just unreliable. You know, you can't, like, you literally can't get shit done. Imagine you're trying to do a stunt. You need people to sign waivers. You need things to go impeccably so nothing horrible happens on the set. And then you got a guy just showing up blitzed, but the other thing is, he still thinks it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is there is no shame with it. It's not like, sorry guys, I'm hammered. It's like, I'm drunk, let's do this, I got an idea for this. And it's like, bro, I'm trying, like Steve-O's like, I'm trying to sleep in my RV and read. I'm 50. We're all 50. Yeah. That's the other thing, is you're all fucking 50. Like, that's Margera's fault. But that was Margera's life, though. You could see the fact that he was doing CKY in his mid-teens means he was a privileged, entitled little shit.
Yeah. He was.
Who had the utmost support by his parents. So that was his life always, that you're the star, we're going to bend down to you. And it started with that, and then he got money, he got fame, and it got worse.
You're right. No, him doing CKY and just treating his parents like fucking garbage was his bread and butter. And Viva La Bam was literally, let me fuck with Phil. Let me wake him up by beating the shit out of him. You know, I'm just gonna fuck with my parents, and I'm gonna get paid to do it. I'm just gonna be a piece of shit, junkie.
And it'd be like literally he'd put him and his uncle in a contest to see who's fattest. And you know, one of them was they had to run with a sandwich, a hoagie hanging in front of them. And it's like, the father and the uncle are at fault too, because they participated in it. Like, I get it, you guys are making money, but you're glorifying your unhealthiness.
Right.
But yeah, it was, I don't know. That was Bam in a nutshell from like 10 years old on, is that was their little boy that can do no wrong, and then that little boy that can do no wrong made them money. And they enabled the fuck out of them.
Yeah. So listen, you're right. When the enabling stops, when the rest of the Jackass guys are like, all right, listen, the party's over, and Bam doesn't want the party to be over because he, you know, for whatever mental illness he's got, Yeah, because you know what happens, man? As a person who got sober, it's like somebody turning the lights on in the middle of a bar. It's this fucking like rude. It's this horribly rude awakening that you don't want to deal with, man. Because when you're not fucked up, the thoughts that are rattling around in your brain are that much more horrendous. All the shit that you've been avoiding dealing with, it catches up to you. It's like it's time to pay the bill, the long overdue bill, and you get messed up, man. Panic attacks, hardcore anxiety, debilitating depression. But it gets but imagine even worse, even more exacerbated, right? That much more exacerbated.
I mean, that would make sense to why you'd be doing all these drugs. But here's the thing: is like, I think he's also kind of a piece of shit, even sober. Like, there was an interview, or not an interview. He was doing like vlog videos or some shit, and he got in the car with his wife, who he's got a kid with. And he was saying something about how she won't touch him. They haven't had sex and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, maybe if you would shower more than twice or more than once a month. Oh, like, God, so I do wonder if like maybe he's just also just a grody fucking dude, like even sober.
Yeah, I think he is, but also I think that's literally not showering. That's a sign of depression. Like that's one of the that's one of the major signs of depression. Just not being able to fucking bring yourself to just do normal everyday stuff because you don't have the mental energy to do so. But don't worry, Bill, I'll be out of here in like maybe another 40 minutes or so.
Have to get that Bam Margera fund going. By the way, if that asshole is broke, then it's his own goddamn fault.
It
he
is.
Made way more than enough money to survive.
He probably made more. Well, I don't know if he. You know what? In the long run, he probably did make more than Knoxville. Knoxville had a bunch of run in the 2010s to like the early aughts. Knoxville as an actor, they did try to make that a thing, right? He'd show up in movies. He had his own few movies that he did that were box office bombs. But he did try. He did try and show up, and he probably got paid a pretty penny, for the cameos when he was a hot commodity, a jackass at its height. I wouldn't be surprised if Knoxville made a decent chunk of change. But
so here's the thing, right? Knoxville's, according to celebrity net worth isn't really that reliable.
Yeah.
But they're saying that Knoxville currently is worth $50 million. Bam Margera is currently worth $5, but was worth $50 million at one point. My question is like, you know how you had to pay, like they did what 70 episodes of Viva La Bam?
Yeah.
Something like that throughout the whole series. If you're making, let's say, $400,000 an episode, and you only have $5 million to your name nowadays, like you fucked up.
He pissed that away. But like, of course he would. Like, it's the fact this booze bag junkie. You're gonna trust him with finances like that?
It is the old story of like, how did you go broke? And it's the same thing of like, why did you bite me? And I was like, well, I'm a snake.
Yeah, how did you go broke?
That's what I do.
Well, it's the same reason he went broke is the same way he got famous. It's literally the same.
I think Knoxville knew how to save and invest his money better too, though. Like I don't like name me a movie besides Bad Grandpa that he did that was an uproarious success. Like that other one he did about the theme park, the water park, didn't do well. Like Bad Grandpa did well, but he also didn't have a TV show in between, but he did have small roles. Like he had a small role in that Schwarzenegger movie about defending a small town from the cartel.
Right.
He did shit like that. So it's like if he's got 50 million, that's I would argue primarily from his jackass fame and probably knowing when to save and when to invest.
What's up, Chimunka?
But once again, you got Bam Margera, who also probably, he also talked a lot about when he got fired. He's like, you owe me $4 million. And it's like, you clearly didn't pay enough attention to your finances early on. Now that does bring up the question of like, he seemingly trusted his parents with that. Did his parents fuck him over at any point, either willingly or unwillingly, just because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing?
Right. Knoxville got a lot of movie roles, some serious ones. He still gets roles. I think
he's in the new TV show, yeah.
Oh, I think over the long, I think there was a moment where you're right. Bam Margera was probably making more long term during Viva La Bam.
Yeah, Viva La Bam, he was, I think, better off than any single one of them. But post Viva La Bam, he had zero.
Yeah, post Viva La Bam, it shut down. Whereas, like, I think he was probably making more than Johnny over the long haul, over that many years of Viva La Bam. But at some point, Viva La Bam goes away. Bam loses his mind. Only has Jackass, whereas Johnny Knoxville's been slowly chipping away and chipping away. He's like a little engine that
constantly
could.
Earning, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Dane Cook and his brother. Poor Dane Cook.
Oh, did Dane Cook's brother rip him off?
Oh, for most of his fortune.
Dude, I mean, look at Johnny Depp, dude. His business manager stealing fucking $700 million or something absurd, something obscene like that.
Yeah, his brother, basically, by the time he had looked at, like, Cook actually looked at his finances, his brother had put him in a deep, deep hole and had embezzled so much. So the way Dane Cook says it is he fucking had to put his brother in prison because he stole from him. And then Dane Cook's whole resurgence is all on him now. Like, he put together the money to rent these stadiums for these tours, and he's been filling them out. Like, people still love him. He looks old and weird now, though. He's got a weird
creepy.
head now.
Yeah, he looks...
Plastic surgery Cook.
Yeah, he looks like a game show host. I've only saw the pictures because people were ripping on him for, you know, him being in his 50s banging some 25-year-olds. And there were people who were like, look at this old man. Look at this old man.
Yeah. I don't know. How do you feel about that when some 55-year-old dude's banging a 25-year-old?
I don't care, man. It's.
I know.
Yeah, I don't.
Because, I mean, here's the thing. If it was the other way around, you're not allowed to say anything either. Like, if it's some 55-year-old broad dating some dude who's 25, like, well, that's empowering.
Well, no, I still rip on. I think people still rip on. Like Olivia Munn, for example. Not Olivia Munn. Olivia Wilde dating Harry Styles. I think she's 10 years his senior. I rip on that.
Yeah, but I think she's got taken more shit because the whole thing was she cheated on Sudeikis.
She cheated on Ted Lasso.
Yeah, you don't cheat on Ted Lasso.
You don't cheat on Ted Lasso.
I'd imagine Jason Sudeikis is probably a sarcastic cunt. In
probably a dick. Apparently.
Yeah.
She was. So the story goes, she was giving a speech, like she won an award for something, and then on stage somebody handed her custody papers, I believe it was. And then Sudeikis got a bunch of flack for it. And he's like, I didn't fucking tell the legal guy to fucking hand her the not divorce papers, but like the custody case papers or whatever. You know, she wasn't meant to be served mid-speech somewhere.
Olivia Munn was hot for one movie. Can't remember what movie.
Olivia Wilde? Or
Olivia Wilde, yeah.
She was hot in Tron Legacy.
Well, yep, there you go. Yep. Olivia Munn. Oh, so have you been following the whole G4 thing?
Not since last week, no. No, not since last week.
So it turns out that they fired Frost now.
Yeah, I heard that, which was hilarious after her tweet.
Apparently Sessler and the other guy, Pereira, are both gone too. Like, the whole thing seems to be just collapsing.
Yeah. Like a dwarf star. It's collapsing in.
Good.
But no, I mean...
Bring back X-Play.
Because it was never going to work, because it's like, you know, you trying to bring back AM radio. It's one of those.
Do you remember what G4 was before it was G4?
No.
It was Tech TV, and literally Tech TV would have fucking shows of adult nerd men discussing computer parts and things like that. And then you had the review show who had Tommy Tallarico, I think, on it, who was a big composer for games and shit. He's moved up even more so. But he was the X-Play guy. Him and this other nerd would review games. So, like, Tech TV I used to like way more. Then G4 bought it, and it became much more of like, hey, it's hip. And then Olivia Munn gets brought in to be eye candy because she was just a fraud.
Yeah, she's hot, though. So I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take the booth, babe.
But that's one of Frost's things, right? Frost was like, Olivia Munn wasn't hired for you to ogle her. And it's like, she was.
Yeah, she literally was.
That's the only reason she was hired.
Also bringing it back with the same name as baggage. Yeah, the problem is, man, the audience that was theirs 10 years ago, plus 15 years ago, I don't want to say they aged out, but kind of, man.
Well, they were going after college people 10 years ago, and the problem is the college climate has changed drastically.
So the entire culture has shifted. So the kids that were teenagers and 20-year-olds 15 years ago are now either middle-aged, headed toward middle age, in their 30s, at the very least in their very late 20s. Everybody who remembered the original G4. So most of them, if they're watching content that G4 was providing 15 years ago, they're watching it elsewhere. They're not watching, this is not a G4, what the content that G4 provided and was trying to provide again, that hole has been filled, man. From social media to, YouTube, Instagram, fucking TikTok, various websites. G4 TV rose to a success as a kind of niche growing subculture. The fact that there would be a TV show at that time about video games was novel. It was a beautiful novelty, and they tapped into a emerging customer base that wasn't having its needs fulfilled. But that's no longer the case. The gamer,
they were also late to the online market. G4 was a television channel. That's the difference, is they came back in an era where everything's online, and they tried to go, hey man, G4 is back. Yeah. And it's well, you tell me, G4, why should I watch an Adam Sessler review? Because I don't like Adam Sessler. I think he was a swarmy little cunt. So why would I watch him as opposed to the hundreds of people that reviewed that same game on YouTube for no money? They just reviewed it because that's what their channel wants them to do.
Yeah.
If you ever, and that was the thing, is I tried to watch I tried to watch one or two of his reviews, and they weren't good. It's an old dude bitching about games. That's all it was.
Yeah, exactly. So the content they're providing, it sucks. There are people liking it right now who are doing it better. Everything moved on. This was just a show for nostalgia that didn't fit in the modern gaming or cultural landscape. So you're trying to revive this dead horse for nostalgia's sake, and no shit, it didn't work. Who the fuck is watching television? Or better yet, who's watching online content?
Well, also their content was always it was come back and check out G4 for more. And it's why would I check you out? You still haven't given me a reason why you should be relevant in any way. And then Frost goes out, and whether you agree or disagree with her, if I was the owner of that company, I'd have fired her immediately. And the question wouldn't have been, well, this is free speech. It would have been, well, here's the deal. This is my network, my programming, and you just made it about you. You're gone. And that would have been as simple as that.
Return to you.
You know what the problem is? And you see it happen all the time. What Frost was doing is something we see happen every time a movie's released, every time a new show is airing. Right now, matter of fact, just the other day, there was an interview done by the woman who's playing Alicent Hightower in the new Game of Thrones TV show, House of the Dragon. And of course, she says that either the director or someone else was told her that, oh, the character that you're playing, play them like a Trump supporter. Play them like you are brainwashed by Donald Trump, like those Trumpers. And so she's on the interview, and she's like, and this is how I tackled my character. In the interview, she's like, I basically Trump supporters are pieces of shit, and I pretended like I was one of those pieces of shit to play this role. More or less, right? She didn't say that verbatim, I'm paraphrasing. But essentially. Now, I didn't pick up that at all watching the show. Watching that character, watching that actress portray that character, I did not get Trump. But it's part of the marketing now. Actors...
But doesn't that show you how, stupid our writers are? Is literally
you're
writing fantasy.
Well, that's the thing. It's not the writers.
You got to go to a modern.
It's not the writers. It's the actors. It's the they might not have even fucking told her to act that way. It's the marketing. Hollywood thinks that beating, or Hollywood thinks that Frost urine, that, you know, Indiana Black, that like hyper progressive, what do you want to call that? That hyper progressive postulating. That's the thing that's going to sell.
Yeah, pandering.
Right. Pandering to hyper progressive ideologues. And
you know what? Some cases it does.
For some people it does.
Doesn't, though.
For some people it does, but I think for the average person, people just either don't give a shit about it, like me, or worse, they find it completely alienating and off-putting.
Well, the thing is, I think the thing is the guy's not in power anymore. So I think your average person is like, when they hear like, oh, I just thought of the MAGA people and the Trump idiots. It's like, you do realize, like, you get over it. Like, I honestly don't care what side you vote on. Like, you know me. But the idea is, like, you still have people going, like... But the people that are also obsessed with Trump, they also are saying Biden is healthy.
Right. Well, I mean, dude, listen, we got into a discussion about this during the last season of The Orville. You didn't like that they were channeling Trump in that one episode. I was indifferent to it. But I think the difference between me and you...
My argument was I didn't like the amount of politics in back-to-back episodes I had to deal with.
Right, but you specifically pointed out that you said that they had quoted Trump specifically in a episode.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing: the story of the actress in her mind channeling Trump and MAGA. They put that on camera was the problem, and then there was the whole. I can't remember the episode title, but it was the whole story about the female leader of the one alien race taking over and getting rid of the old administration. That whole thing was based around Trump.
Right. See, that's the thing. I just saw that. Oh shit! This is a candidate that is very very jarring, very polarizing. There's a polarizing political candidate. I mean, yes, Trump is that, but I didn't specifically think of Trump specifically.
Yeah, but this isn't a subjective matter when you use literal text and dialogue from said person. It's no longer
sure
up for interpretation.
Right. No. Exactly. But the thing is, the only reason why you caught that is because you're familiar with Trump's dialogue. So like you're in it enough to know enough about Trump that you caught that.
Well,
it's probably because
I would argue enough about all of politics right now, not just what Trump said.
Right. You are deep in the political rhetoric. You clearly like it on some level. I don't. I have an active disdain for speaking about politics. I try to avoid it I mean, literally in my Discord, you get blocked if you say any political words in other channels because I have an active disdain towards it. So I was unaware of them channeling specific Trump rhetoric in that episode. So it allowed me to kind of detach and just enjoy the episode for what it was, not necessarily the specific analogy that they were channeling. But I guess to my greater point being, in modern media, Hollywood sends these I don't know if it's their agents, I don't know if it's the studio executives, I don't know if it's the fucking marketing department, but it appears to me that that's the name of the game. It's like, hey, go out there and tell them how fucking progressive this show is. Tell them that, you know, we're Trump can eat shit and Trump.
Look at Rings of Power. Like Rings of Power, they do that interview where instead of talking about the show, the focus is the diversity within the show.
Right.
And like I think I don't care either way on that. That's one of those subjects where I don't necessarily see the interest in bitching about them race swapping characters and whatnot. Like, don't get me wrong, Game of Thrones has that Wesley Snipes Targaryen. I really don't give it. I will look at it and go, that's a little kooky, but I don't really care. I mean, they're just fucking actors. Like, what the problem comes in when it's like they justify that even though you're quote unquote fans of the lore are against it, and then it's like you do read articles where it's like, well, only gay actors should portray gay characters, and it's like, well, you're all actors. I thought the whole concept was, lose yourself in the role.
Let's see. Bring back Cap in the Game Master. Bring back video power with Jim Arcade. Are we talking about dead horses? No, we're talking about how. I guess specifically, it seems like. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Hollywood gives two shits about diversity, inclusivity, any of it. I think Hollywood.
No, it's all dollar signs.
Yeah, I think Hollywood just thinks it's going to make a buck. It's gonna make them a buck, and they're, you know.
But both sides are cringe. Like there really isn't a there now is a right wing movie studio, and that's the one that's run by Ben Shapiro. But like both sides are the same like cringe level marketing. Like literally, you're talking about the actress who's saying like, I just channeled MAGA Trump as my inspiration.
Oh God.
And then Ben Shapiro comes out with a Wild West movie, and it's like, that's right, liberal slaying Gina Carino's in this one. And it's like both sides are just fucking cringe in their messaging.
Yeah, it's dumb. I'd imagine that the average TV watcher, moviegoer, kind of over it. I know I'm over it. All of it. All of the...
They don't care about the middle ground. They want those extremes. Ben Shapiro wants the 55-year-old white dude sitting in his chair going, they're not going to tell me I can't even have a beer after dinner. And then he's going to go see that Wild West movie. He's going to pay to rent it to buy it. The left wants you to go, oh, you know, Rings of Power always seemed too racist for my life. That's why I'm so glad that... And here's the thing. I'm sure there's a small percentage of both of those people. Like, I know my sister-in-law, who is a lesbian.
Oh, gosh.
She lives her life only in that identity. If you are not gay, she doesn't hang out with you. She has told me before she only watches movies that have gay actors in them. Like, people get locked into identity, and it's a weird thing.
Wow.
Yeah, like that's the thing, is everybody likes to get into their own group. I guess you got to feel wanted. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I've never felt wanted, so I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, I just kind of want to enjoy something.
Can I just watch the product without having any agenda thrown in my face? Like, if I were to watch a movie and it had a hardcore liberal agenda, I'd be pissed. I'd also be pissed off if I was watching said movie and it had a hardcore Trump agenda. I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, I just don't want any of it. Just like I'm gonna enjoy a product.
I mean, listen, I don't mind it, and listen. I mean, I guess agenda is subjective, but as long as it's cloaked enough that it's not beating you over the goddamn head.
Well, the old school way to do it was like in Blade Runner and things like that, where you're also talking about socioeconomical issues, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But nowadays, that shit that doesn't exist. It's like, if there's an agenda in a movie, it's thrown right into your face immediately.
Yeah, no, there's no subtlety to it. You're very aware of what they're trying to sell you. Hello, good afternoon, Elizabeth. Did you meet your goal? Also, congratulations on the 7 days straight of streaming. Dude, it's so bad in the South. Wait, what's so bad, Fireworks? I'm excited for Avatar 2. Are you really? I live in the Bible Belt, and having grown up in a hyper-religious family that has only grown more radically trad over time.
Bang, bang, you're the best.
Can I just get like
what's up,
Avatar
FNA
1 on 4K first?
Wait, say what? Matt?
I just want Avatar 1 on 4K first.
I want Avatar none on anything. I don't care for that movie.
Wait, you mean that franchise? Because they're gonna have 6 movies by the end of 2037.
I know, dude. What the, like? Who was asking for that? I watched the trailer.
Gonna die before he finishes it.
Dude, I know that guy's a million years old. I watched the Avatar, the upcoming Avatar, you know, whatever, jerk off in the ocean trailer, and it was devoid of.
Avatar'd?
Yes, Avatar'd 2, Return of Avatar.
Wow.
I watched the trailer and there was fucking nothing there. The visuals are forgettable. Once you remove the three-dimensionality of it, I was sitting in the theater for, I think it was maybe Ragnarok or some other, maybe it was Top Gun, maybe it was even both, and I got to watch the full-blown trailer. What's up, that pixel YouTube? I got to watch the full-blown trailer each time, and each time completely forgettable. They try to do the whole, ooh, look at this teaser trailer, isn't it awe-inspiring? You know, they do that, like that pan away and they show Pangaea or whatever the fuck it's called. The
town or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, they're like, look at this sprawling, beautiful alien landscape. Look how beautiful these native indigenous people are. And you're like, fucking turn this shit off, dude. Fuck
fake.
you.
They're not indigenous to anything because they're not real. But here's the thing: Cameron has come out now and said that, like,
This is shit.
Basically, if Avatar flops, he's ruined.
Yeah.
Like again, he's got a lot invested, and I'm just over here like, can I get, True Lies 4K? Like I don't need Avatar 2. I just True Lies 4K would be nice.
I'm from the Arkansas, and that describes my life. Wait, you guys? Wow, Arkansas. Holy shit. I always hated that Arkansas. Hey, what's up, F&A lover? Thank you for the 5 bits. I always hated that Arkansas and Kansas are said differently.
You want it to be Arkansas?
It's call it Arkansas or call Kansas Kansas. Fucking pick one.
Kansas.
Fucking pick one way to say the fucking thing.
What did you walk into, Liz?
I don't know, but I was about to say I am currently I'm ghostwriting you, so I do have you up on my stream as well.
Rated R version.
Yeah, so I did have to change my stuff, my tag and stuff.
Liz has been going for what, 60, 100
How many
hours? How long have you been technically
I
streaming?
don't know. I lost track at like day 3.
Wait. You are above 24 hours?
Yeah.
I have been live for 7 days.
7
Today's
days.
7 day.
She's doing a fundraiser.
What in the heck?
Her dog's got tumors, is what Nikki told me.
A tumor.
A tumor. Just one. Just the one.
Not the tumor.
Yeah.
But it's going to be okay. It's not cancerous, so.
Yeah, so he has a decorative tumor that she wants him to not have, which is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was gross. It was like, it's like an open wound.
Oh.
Like kind of tumor. Yeah.
I've never
it's
heard
not
of a
fun.
decorative tumor. It's benign.
No one has.
Listen, I picked a word to use because I couldn't think of benign, and I'm
No,
sticking
it
with
works. I am enjoying it. I'm not
Think
gonna lie
of
to you.
benign.
Wait, hold on. You could
I'm gonna
not
start-
think of benign, so you opted for
Use
decorative?
Decorative.
Yeah.
I think it works actually. I'm gonna start
I need
referring it
to write a
decorative from now on.
book called Michael's Thesaurus.
Michael's Retard Brain, the book.
Oh my
Yeah, Michael's weirdo brain.
Chapter 1.
It's
Avatardo.
Yeah. Chapter 1, decorative tumors. Let me tell you something about these decorative tumors.
How has everything been over here? I've been liking what you've been posting on Insta.
Oh, what the hell have I been? Listen, I post a random crap.
You've been posting those random videos.
Yeah.
I have been enjoying them too.
Yeah, oh, here, you
I
want
mean,
to
I'm talking about his artwork, but yes.
Here.
I just like the videos.
This
This
is
is
trying to keep you on track.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'm like a train that refuses to stay on the tracks. And
That one is sick.
These are construction workers trying to keep the train on the rails.
I do my best.
A task that is nigh impossible.
And I have ADD.
Yeah, one of you is a professional streamer, and the other one is Michael.
I cosplayed him for Halloween one time.
She did cosplay.
I thought I
this
did a pretty
one.
good job.
You did what?
Yeah, she did.
I was Michael for Halloween.
Oh my god.
I thought it was pretty great. I was really proud of myself.
What did that costume consist of?
It was a zip-up hoodie, a beanie.
Mhm.
I drew on his little beauty mark.
Thank you.
I put on glasses, and I had my hair freshly washed but not straightened, so it was like my hair was like just the right length at the time.
Perfect. Perfection.
I was very proud. Oh, I also had a you don't use a drawing glove, but I used it.
No, drawing
Drawing
gloves are for a word that I can't say anymore because I used to
doesn't
use
use
it.
protection.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let's use protection.
No, dude, I raw dog it. Look at my raw hand on the screen. Putting a drawing glove on. What am I?
What are
weak?
you?
What is
I
my-
have somebody in my chat asking, what are you currently drawing, Michael?
I'm drawing I guess an anime lady. Oh, here's how I do. I scribble. I scribble,
I love
and then
it.
I draw over that scribble as best I can. I didn't even give this lady barely a face, and I just kind of decided to
Oh,
go
yeah.
over it. Here, I drew this cat.
I've been meaning to try your process sometime to see
Please
how it
don't.
feels.
It's awful. It's
No, I mean I've tried a few different kinds, and it's interesting.
Here,
what
so-
kind of like, even if I don't go with the whole thing, it like
So here-
sometimes little techniques help.
So here's this sketch of this kind of animal girl I did, but I give myself, because I know I could see it in my head where I want to go. I would never, in comic books, people do pencils and then send it sometimes, or at least this is the traditional way of doing it. You do pencils and then you send it to an inker, and then the inker inks over your pencils. So you have to clarify your pencils so the inker knows what they're going to be inking. you have to make your intentions known. You have to be very, clarity is key there. Clarity is not key when I'm inking my own stuff. So I jump from these. So these inks here, they do resemble the sketch here, but specifically in regards to the face, I completely changed that face on the fly. If you look here, I'm not even staying within the guidelines that I made for the sketch. Her head isn't even like, I guess I could zoom in here. Yeah, if you look there, her nose, her mouth, it's not even aligned.
Is this from Hunter x Hunter? Sorry to interrupt.
No, although it does. I know who you're talking about. No, this is just a lady. I thought, let me draw a gal with cat ears. Is basically.
Oh, fair. The eyes were what got me, and that's why I was thinking it.
Oh, thank you. Bale says you're going to be drawing cyberpunk characters before this week ends. Has anybody in your chat, Liz, been watching Edge Runner?
Yes, actually. I believe was it Fate Tomcat? You said that you were watching it, right?
I am. I just watched the first episode last night, and I'm into it. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Nerd
I haven't watched
yet.
anything in a while.
Do you watch with your significant other?
There's only a few things that we've really watched together. We watched Stranger Things. We watched The Great British Baking Show.
Sure. Are you watching the new season?
I haven't started it yet. I'm waiting to watch with my mom and my brother. Because they're also really into it.
It's a whole family thing.
Yeah. So we're gonna watch together. And then I'm going to start the Lord of the Rings series with my best friend. Probably whenever this never-ending live stream is over. I'm not going to say how many days because I don't want to eat my words or anything.
Right.
But yeah.
So whenever that's yeah.
Do that.
Dude, I'm
thinking about doing this as a regular thing, honestly. I'm enjoying it. It's been good for my health, actually.
It's been good for your health?
Doing marathon
it's been keeping me it's been actually keeping me really structured.
Oh.
As far as my meals, and I've been working out, and I've been making sure to stretch, and I've been making sure to drink a lot of water. And I've always been taking my meds, so I'm not forgetting anything. And I've actually been working on all the things I want to do without any distraction.
Are you working out on stream?
Yeah. Once we hit our halfway mark, I said that I would, and I have been. Yeah, it's light Pilates though, to start because I am very out of shape.
Are you wearing lingerie during these workouts?
No.
All right. Well, just in case I wanted to use something for reference is all.
Oh, yeah, of course. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. Reference.
For art purposes. I've got your chat up, Liz. So, hello, Gohum, Kevin. Hello, Bulldogger.
Yay.
One of your channel members said they couldn't say how they feel because of terms of service. What does that mean?
Oh, what's their favorite thing to do on a rainy day?
Oh boy.
That's our topic of the day from yesterday. I still have to change it.
Whatever it is, it's illegal on Liz's tree.
Greeny. Does it involve something green? Treeny? A greeny? Treeny?
Art purpose. That's right, fireworks. Art purposes only. You're going to be drawing cyber. Can you draw furries? I've never drawn a furry, and as I was sketching that lady with cat ears, I thought, does this count as a furry? Drawing a lady with cat ears? I don't think so. I feel like furry is a very specific genre.
If you're interested in furries, look up Rump and Dump.
Oh yeah, she does a lot of really fun.
She does that
art.
stuff. Somebody slid into my DMs because I moved my commissions to Etsy. So somebody DM'd me on Etsy and was like, "Hey, do you do not safe for work commissions?" I said, "Sure." They're like, "What's your limits?" And I think they asked me like, "How young of a character would you be willing to draw?" And I was like, I suppose a teenager that looks like they've got an adult body would be my limit. I wasn't sure. But after I said that, and I gave them a few examples of an adult body is basically, I use a child in My Hero Academia, Eri. Be like, I'm not going to draw something like this provocatively. I don't do that. And the second I like put my limits up, that person immediately stopped responding to me. And I was just like, holy shit, dude. I don't know, it was
They
weird.
had something else in mind for you, Michael.
They had something very different. Yeah, so you know what? I didn't realize I had limits like that, but I do. Liz, who'da thunk it?
Who'da thunk it?
Who'da thunk it? Yeah,
Michael has limits.
You're the best.
I have
I'm
limits.
proud of you, Michael.
Furry art is so specific. I like the style. So hey, Bulldog, thank you for the follow. Hey, look, Mega Mittens. Liz says hello. How are you on this beautiful morning?
I hope Mega Mittens is doing great. Oh, they are wonderful. We are currently hanging out with Michael De Nicola and crew, also including our good friend Nerditude. Guys, go check him out. And
Natty
Eric
Cakes.
Canetti. Thank you so much for letting me join you guys this morning.
Eric Canetti found his art on an AI-generated site. The robot that scrapes through all the artwork on the
Is
internet.
it a robot? Is it considered to be a robot? Robot has a very specific definition.
Yeah, robot seems more physical.
Yeah.
Mechanical.
Well, I like to think that Midjourney has a robot, like an old school, like 1930s version of sci-fi, where like it looks like a toaster, and it's got, you know, like those accordion style arms with like clamps on the end.
Kooky guy.
Yeah.
What a kooky dude.
I will scrub the art.
What is it?
Pass me a smoke.
What
Because
is
this
that
the
voice
robot
that you're
they built in an exhaust system for the robot to
Because
smoke.
voice boxed.
Well, you know, listen, it's a manly robot, so it smokes.
What is it?
It's manly. It's a masculine robot.
Masculine robots, hell yeah.
I'm super hetero. Pass me my stogies.
Only yay, not this guy.
Time to scroll some art. I am doing wonderful. I like how sweet your chat is, Elizabeth.
No, you.
No,
Your
my,
chat is sweet in their own way.
no, my chat is a pack of wild animals that are, you know, that are corralled.
And I love them so much. Eric Canetti sounds familiar. Hello, by the way, says Mega Mittens.
You've probably dreamed of him.
I'm just hanging. Jesus.
We all
I'm just
have,
hanging out.
haven't we?
I'm just hanging out.
Yeah.
It's difficult sometimes with Michael, but yes, I'm here. Hello.
Hey, Fireworks, do you want to drop like a safe for work furry art in the chat? I'm kind of curious as to the style of art that you're talking about. Oh man. Hey Liz, that music venue you went to, did you spot any furries there? Just like walking around?
Electric Forest?
Yes.
Could
a furry go to that?
No, I mean, yeah. I don't see why not. I don't say I can't say I saw any fursuits, although it was very hot. So I don't think it would have been the best environment for it. I mean, there were a lot of people that had animal-inspired costumes, but I can't say whether or not they were actually like within that community or not.
Did you see anybody with a tail?
Yes.
Oh, now, do you think they were, how do I phrase this on your stream? Appropriate? Safe for work tales or not safe for work tales?
No, not safe for work tales.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Where that question was going.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is.
No, it was a wild
Safe
Wow.
for work tales? Get out of here.
Yeah. If you know, you
tail
know.
that's attached to the clothing
Or elsewhere. Or elsewhere.
or elsewhere.
Hey, Mega of J. I
Mega.
know.
I just cannot imagine walking into work and going like, "Hey, there's a guy wearing a safe for work tail," as opposed to the other guy that was here previously.
That's company approved.
He got sent home because his tail was not safe for work.
That guy
It's
got
against
written up
work
by
standard.
HR.
Yeah, hey, that's not attached to your belt.
Hey, you can't sit down with that.
I need to go
you know?
grab a towel.
Oh, boy.
I'll be right back. 1 second. Oh my god, I'm doing my makeup. Shush.
Not safe for work.
We have
indeed.
conversations about safe for work tales.
We
and
start
Liz is
mentioning
like,
safe word
"Excuse me,
tail, she starts sweating.
Pardon me.
AI generated safe for
excusez-moi.
work tale.
It's tough to describe. There's this website called thispersona-does-not-exist.com, which I think perfectly encapsulates all styles. I'm going to go to that website against my better judgment. Against Let's go, gang. I'm gonna go in my Cognito browser though.
Like, do not turn this bus down that website.
Oh my god, ooh is the first thing you're greeted with. I see.
Ew,
Oh.
ew.
Hang on, I'm scanning for anything salacious, but it's not. It's just
Yeah, I was
just
about to say, be careful here.
it's just portraits. It's just portraits. This one is done. This one looks like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, Sonic.
If he was a furry.
Oh, a lot of those remind me of like, oh, you remember that movie, the Goofy movie,
Oh, yeah.
where they
Sure.
had the faces with the Goofy movie. That's kind of.
Jackson Goofy movie character.
I do remember that actually.
Oh. And they had Pauly Shore.
Oh, I love that movie. The pizza in that movie had no right looking that delicious,
It
and
did look
nachos.
good.
It looks so good.
It
I
was
did
very-
a,
the cheese is very
a-
gelatinous.
I did an embroidery piece inspired by that pizza.
By the Goofy movie? It was Max,
Mhm.
right? Wasn't that the name of the character?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the name of the singer
My
that they
chair
were
doesn't squeak
visiting?
anymore. You know, it's-
It was a ripoff of Michael Jackson. But...
Yeah, but he had that he had those funny sunglasses and that like wild suit.
Well, he also, Pauly Shore had a role which was Max's best friend, who was always eating the canned cheese.
Yes.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah, that was Pauly Shore, I believe.
I know nothing about
Canned cheese.
Buddy.
canned cheese.
I know nothing of this canned cheese.
I know nothing of canned cheese.
Hi, Liz.
Not about our
Nikki!
cheese.
Nikki uses canned cheese
Afternoon.
for other purposes. She
Okay.
uses for
Michael,
no.
She just
Let-
walked in here.
let
She
me
just-
Michael,
Jeez, let me finish.
And I have a moment.
Michael,
I was
we
gonna
will
say
fight you
lotion. I was
physically.
going to say lotion. Jeez,
Lotion?
jeez, you guys. Yeah.
That doesn't make it any better. That's
That's
not
Man.
fucking
don't.
gross, bro.
Yeah, come on, you guys, please. This is a PG stream. We all know this. I would never say anything untoward of Nikki.
Oh, never.
Did you say
Although-
untoward?
Guys,
Untoward,
I get
yes.
to see Nikki in a week.
I'm so excited.
Are you guys gonna work out together?
Really? Actually, yeah. 2 days.
The
I
Mail
asked
to
her.
Lizard stream looked like she's on DeviantArt in 2010. That's Michael De Nicola's fault. It's all Michael's fault. The furry art.
Ew.
Does Mega do furry art?
Hi, Mikey.
Furry art,
to see
also
you.
also called fart.
Yeah, Mikey, do you do furry art? I don't think Mikey does furry art.
Did you just say also called fart?
Yeah, sure.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. that's
Furry
fine.
art,
I'm just
fart.
making sure.
Just trying to save
Hard.
time with the
It's
lingo.
difficult being.
I have just 15 minutes before I have to hop back off because work is killer today, and
Yeah.
I am having
Just
a
here
hard
for a
time.
quickie.
Wait, so
That's all I
Mikey,
need.
Mikey, I bet people have slid it. I bet people have slid into Mikey's DMs and be like, "Yo, hook me up with that fart, Mikey."
No one.
then
You were setting that joke up for the past minute and a
I
half.
know. He says, God, I've got so many fart requests in my DMs.
That's the other one. That's the other joke. You debated between the two. You said,
I'm
I'm going
sorry.
to say them both.
I'm sorry, I'm confusing Mikey Mega with Mikey Delphine.
Liz and Maddie.
Yes.
Mom is doing better. She might get released today.
Oh, that's so
From
good to hear.
prison?
I'm glad to hear.
My mom was hospitalized with COVID.
Oh, that again?
Yeah, dude.
Dude.
But they said that they kept her overnight because of her autoimmune, and the last time her lung collapsed, but this time it was fine. So she's. I had a rough night and a rough morning with plenty of tears, but
Jeez.
I'm doing.
Well, Nikki
Huge
taking a
hugs.
fucking hard left turn from farts to.
But it's cool. But it's cool though. I wanted to update them before I forgot because I'm forgetting a lot of things today because of work.
Oh,
it's
it's
just
alright,
been
you're
wild.
good. I appreciate you. Thank
It's
you
been
for letting
wild.
me know.
Nikki, fart on your
Love
microphone.
you.
Bring it back.
I'm
Okay.
good. Thank you so much though
Hold
for
on.
asking. I
She's
guess.
getting up. Hang on, she's getting up. She's putting the microphone by her butt cheeks. I'm waiting. She just pulled down her pants. I don't know why. I guess for more clarity.
Yeah.
She's wearing two
Mikey
thick
says, I
sweatpants.
drew one
Did
once,
you just
not my skill
recognize
set.
that Michael made himself
He drew a
laugh
fart
with
once.
that joke?
He did on his own. It's cute though. I
Like
find
he-
it to be kind of cute and adorable.
He tickled himself, is what he did.
I'm tickling myself right
He
now.
did the coochie coo.
Yeah.
He does furry art under the alias 1D Tran.
Jeez.
Mikey says, I drew one once, not my skill set. Ooh.
Is this Mega?
Yeah, this is
Mikey
Michael
Mega Mega, yes. We have
Mikey
several
Mega.
megas in our chat right now. We have Mega Mittens, Mikey Mega Mega, and Mega of Shay.
Mega
Mega
Mittens?
So much Mega.
Mega Mark.
Which is your favorite Mega?
I'm not
Mega
gonna say
Sega.
that. I love them all.
You can say. You can say.
No. I will not be forced to choose.
Say it in our private chat.
No, you can't.
Oh, really?
Oh,
That's
interesting. She just wrote it. You know, I wouldn't have seen that. I didn't see that
It's so
comment.
ridiculous.
That would not
You
have
know
been
that
my
they
choice,
can
but you know what? That
see
makes a lot of sense.
The chat, right?
Not the Discord.
Not the private
Oh, not
Discord
that
chat.
Matt coming in like, by
Yeah.
the way.
Here, listen.
I'm just here for logic. I'm just filling holes. Okay.
Listen, Team Mega.
As you
Hopefully.
should.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. The person who you think is Liz's favorite,
You're
Team
the
Mega,
meggest of men.
Yeah.
you're not. It's actually the person who you guess would be
Yeah.
her least favorite. That's her favorite.
Please remember.
Mega Mall.
Took me by surprise.
My puzzle is coming along nicely. Guys, Bulldoger is working on a 2,000 piece puzzle right now.
Alone?
Jesus.
I know, right?
Dude,
It's a digital
he's a
one too.
fucking he's a beast at those puzzles. Man.
Mm-hmm.
A puzzle
Would
beast.
you like to share a picture of your progress, Bulldoger? There can only be one. Hi, isolated fear. Hello. There's only one greenie though.
Hey, Liz, you ever ask Mikey what's his favorite thing to draw?
No, I don't think I have.
If you had to guess what it was, what would you guess?
Fart.
Fucking goddamn it, got me again. Call back to my joke.
It's your own joke, man.
You know,
I
sometimes
want
he
to
finds it
say,
hilarious.
I don't know. I don't know what it would be. One of my favorites to see Mikey draw is like really badass chicks in armor.
ooh, sure.
I really, really liked. He did a. I screenshot it because it was a warm-up piece, and I knew I would never get to see it again. It was a pose of a girl with like double like really long swords, and she had like this really cool full body armor, and I was like, 10 out of 10.
Wait, why did you think that you'd never see it again? Because he would erase it?
Well, no, because he won't post it because it was a warm-up.
Oh, he doesn't post his
which is
warm-ups?
valid. It's fair.
What if it's a really good warm-up?
I mean, I don't know. That's his own thing. I don't post my warm-ups.
Sounds like Michael's job.
Yeah, yo, hi. Let's make it an 84 year. I've been here for 84 years.
Wait, so how many hours straight has it been? I know it's been 7 days.
Let's do the math.
Let's do that math.
It's been 6 full days. Today's the 7th.
But I like that I love your positive outlook on this stream.
It's been 144 plus.
144 plus what?
I mean, like change, I guess. I just did 48 times 3.
Hey, Earthbound.
Lost to time. I have a lot of drawings lost to time that I probably will never see again of my own. Somewhere in my drawing notebooks or.
Are you saying hours? 144 hours?
Yes. I posted, as far as my VODs go, I
Holy.
have 3 48-hour VODs now. So that's where I was going off of. Plus 4 hours of now.
How much do you have left for your fund?
We are $500 left. I
Twen-
cannot believe it.
$2,500 out of her 3K goal. Congratulations. I know you're not done yet,
Thank
but
you. I am so grateful. Oh, thank you for
wait,
sharing,
wait.
Bulldoger.
There's $3,000 that you're trying to raise, and of that 3,000, 2,500 has been fulfilled, or there's $2,500 left.
It has been fulfilled.
Oh my goodness!
well done.
Congratulations.
Thank you. No, thank all of the people that have been helping. I'm very, very grateful. I thought this stream was going to go for a month, honestly.
You
Are-
sure?
will
I would hope that it would be done by the time I get there, but it'd be totally okay.
will
This is the puzzle that Bulldoger is working on, you guys. This is the
oh
progress.
well done, Bulldogger.
Very, very well done.
Liz, will the top donators to this fund get a piece of the tumor,
Oh my god!
the decorative tumor?
We were talking about actually a gift for the top donors,
Yeah.
but I'm still gonna talk to Nikki about it.
Just tell the vet, cut me off this many slices.
That's right. I got your
Yeah.
back, Dick.
No, I would definitely if I can just like reimburse you for the materials, I would love to do
Girl,
that.
bye. Bye.
I would love to do that.
Nope. No. I gotta go back to work.
Oh.
I love you. I'll see you
right.
later. We'll be chatting.
You know what? I actually have to
I
split.
love you too. Bye.
But I have to split for about an hour or so. But I think I might come back, man. I'm having a blast with you guys. Liz, would you be down to come? Would you be down to hang out in like an hour or so if you're still going?
Yeah, I would actually love to.
All right.
I really don't have plans for today. I just have to. You just need to give me a heads up. Well, I mean,
what's the
somebody
best...
text me because I'm horrible at seeing when people are live.
Do I have your phone number?
You don't, but Nikki, if you want to text it to him, you can.
Nikki, give me Liz's phone number, or else. You gotta threaten her a little bit. It's the only way to get her.
Gotta threaten her a little. Okay, I mean, I know she might like that. So.
Yeah, well, you gotta threaten to choke her.
I gotta go.
All right, bye everybody. I'll see you guys.
All right, love you.
I'll see you guys later.
Bye.